Shapiro rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats.
And all this shit's being goofy. I just want to have background flickering. So I'm not.
You need something happening. You gotta have something to distract the other mind.
Yeah, like the ghosts be down here and they get bored and they fuck with me if nothing's on.
Don't blame it on the fucking ghost.
Dude, I gotta blame it on someone. Let's see here.
Blame it on the yak.
I'm gonna put on Scream.
Again with the Scream. Which one this time?
Just the first one, just to have something going.
So not Scream 3 like we did the other week. Seriously, it was fucking Thursday. Like, so, dude,
was it Thursday? Yeah,
dude. Yeah. So much has fucking happened since the last time you and I talked, but so little has happened as well. That's what's fucking nuts.
Dude,
like that's crazy. It's. I mean, just Thursday to Monday. I almost said Sunday. I'm still stuck on Sunday.
I wish it were Sunday.
I don't. I'd still be at the Renaissance and I'd be tired as fuck. But I'd have a lot more money in my bank account still. So, I mean, there is that. So, fuck. Should we go ahead and get to going then? This will be a nice full episode we got here, guys. So, welcome back to the Now You Made It Awkward podcast, episode 72. Sorry, I took a week off. Technically speaking, I was on vacation, but what really happened was I didn't have any co-hosts for the week, and I didn't feel like really, really pressuring Dante to come back 3 weeks in a row. But I talked to him anyway, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's like, no, man, it's fine. You don't have to come back next week. We're doing a podcast anyway, so what the hell?
Yeah, it's like, oh, yeah. You know, I don't need you this week. It's cool. Yeah, but I need you.
You need me, yeah. So I did reciprocate this week and did my best over on Pod. I'm just calling you Podte now, Dante.
I mean, at this
new
point.
name. God damn, I'm tired, and this light is really bright. So either way, no, I was on So You Like Horror last week with Dante here, my fill-in co-host for apparently all of October.
It's fitting, the spooky season.
Yes.
To bring the spooky guy.
I guess. I didn't say it, you did. So I think I have to pay attention to who we say that about if we have other guests on. Either way, you can go check out all of Dante's podcasts, So You Like Horror, Off the Mats, or Columpton Beer Club. They will be in the links down below, where no one else but my links will be there because none of my other co-hosts can be bothered at the moment. It kind of fucking sucks, like, to have literally no one out of my 5 fucking co-hosts be able to come on. But
that's wild.
Yeah. Well, like, because Ricky's still crazy busy. You know, he's going to be crazy busy with his shit. I have no idea what's going on with Rusty. Like, he just says it's either work or camping. So he's never got time. I assume that there was probably the fall, or whatever they call it, fall break or whatever at up where Dormammu is. So odds are he couldn't do anything because he had the kids all week. And so, you know, last week was just crazy. So it is what it is. I mean, I was originally supposed to be on vacation, but since Miss Shoky or otherwise known as Jessica, got in that car accident, I couldn't really afford to take that time off. So we just had to do what we had to do. And then Mike can only really record certain days and for certain times, so it's kind of hard to squeeze him in. I don't mind having Mike come in and visit, but it's just his schedule's the hardest to work around because he's only available for like maybe a 2-hour window occasionally on Monday. So it's kind of hard to make that happen. So, I mean, like, I hate to say it, but I might have to be shopping for some new co-hosts here just to be able to keep the show rolling because you can't fill in forever, unfortunately.
I'd love to say for Columpton, I want to shop for new co-hosts, but Steve brings the beer, so I can't really get rid of him.
You need extra co-hosts is what you need. You need non-Steve co-hosts. Well, I mean, you got Phil. So other people fill in every now and then, here and there, when Steve's not slightly available. But I mean, it you know, it's weird is that it feels like Steve's show sometimes. It's like so you like horror and Off the Mat's definitely your show, but Columpton feels like a Steve show.
So that was the initial plan when I had a teammate try to do like a hot ones challenge
Yeah.
on off the mats. And I hate spicy food. I was like, dude, no, I don't want to do this. So I kept delaying and delaying. I was like, you know what? Hold on, I got this motherfucker. So I was like, Steve, come through. You're gonna be on the podcast. And Steve can't taste spice, so he went through all the fucking spices, didn't flinch.
Perfect.
He was like, this shit tastes like dirt. And then after that episode, my teammate leaves, and then Steve and I are talking. I was like, you want to start a podcast, you and I? He was like, yeah. So it was like, all right, let's have a meeting next weekend. We're gonna sit down and hash out some details. And I told him, like, this is your show. It is your show. I'm just kind of the facilitator. I'm there, but this is your show. So let's go do whatever you want to do. And you can't say to him, do whatever you want, because he was going with all these bonkers ideas. Like, no, 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 no. Because at the end of the day, it is his show, but I still have to put the shit out. I still have to
You're
edit.
the producer.
It was like, yeah, I was like, I'm not doing that. We're not doing Hot Girl of the Week. No, I'm not doing that. No. Like,
I mean,
we will objectify women a lot on the show, but I don't want to make it a weekly thing. Like, okay, who's the hot girl of the week? Then you want to do a oh, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, it's like already Nerd Rage kind of dumped thought of the week, even though that was like pretty awesome there for a while. It's just too hard to keep up with all of Phil's thoughts.
Yeah. Then it turned into him wanting to do like an ESPN like kind of sports debate show.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, I don't want to do that. So no.
I mean, right now, at least during football season, you guys are definitely talking about so many of the games, not to mention doing your fantasy stuff. So, I mean, you're kind of already doing like that, and then mixing in some pop culture stuff, that.
Well, and that's me. Like, like, look, I love football.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about football all the time.
No.
And his idea was like, again, like kind of debate. So we pick a something from like, one of the shows on ESPN, and then, you have to pick a side. I was like, what if we both agree? Like,
that's when someone has to be able to argue the other side for fun.
And I was like, I'm not doing that. And I don't like to argue anyway, because I like to fight.
Yeah.
So
you like to win. You don't like to argue.
if I'm losing an argument, I'm for sure going to swing.
Something breaking. It's like, there better be a forearm nearby, because I'm going to need to break it.
But eventually it just turned into like, look, let's just sit down, get on the mics, and just talk. And then we're drinking beer while doing it. It was like,
talk about beers.
Beer?
Yeah.
And then it turned into that. And, he texted me the other night, said he has some ideals he's been working on. I was like, that's fine. Don't tell me you have ideals. Like, just present the ideals or show me what you're doing. Like, because I'm heavily anxiety ridden. So I'm like, oh my God,
don't set it up. Yeah. Just bring it done and be like, yes or no. Don't bring. It's like, no, just. I don't need to shop around. Just fucking bring it in and go. Are we gonna do this? And you're gonna be like, no, that's fucking stupid.
At one point, the ideal was to just, because I asked him a few times, like, do you have equipment at home?
Yeah.
Because it was kind of like, you can take this show and run with it now.
Yeah, he can do so much of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just going to start another podcast.
Yeah, no, you're just going to come over here is what's going to happen. It's like, give Columpton to Steve and you come over here because I need the help. Is what it's going to be.
Yeah. Steve, like, running his show, like, hey, so you want to record? Like, no, actually, I'm recording with Shoky.
He's like, sorry,
that was on Monday.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, this is your show now. Like, run with it, dude.
No, you go do it. Yeah, I mean, like, it's fairly well affordable just to do the basic setup. I mean, like, realistically, like, if you have an okay computer and an okay webcam, you're kind of set. And then at that point, like, even like this microphone and this mic stand together was $140, $150 on Amazon. That's fucking nothing. Like, and it's a great setup. Like,
I went far nothing. I think my mic stand was like $15 and the mic was $20.
Yeah. So I mean, like,
that.
Yeah, I mean, but this one's actually pretty good. That's a Fifine brand, or Fifine, however you want to I don't know how. But like, I had the Yeti forever, right? and that's what I did for my live streams and stuff like that. But it's just a big chunky motherfucker. So it's like I want something that's a little bit more. Yeah, exactly. And that base is fucking thick and heavy. So I had the arm for it, which is actually still behind me here on the fucking ground because I haven't done anything with it. I still have the mic actually; it's still down there. But this just sounded better. It was easier to manipulate, and then actually getting rid of the boom arm cleaned up some space out here because this is just on a stand with a little arm like that. So anybody's not seen it, and I can just pivot the fuck out of the way when I don't want it, and like for some like. Having that big ass arm, like trying to figure out where I could put it. Not to mention this desk doesn't have a lip, that comes out past the edge. There was nowhere to clamp the fucking arm, so it had to be like right here, and that bitch had to be like as high as I could make it, so it wasn't 100% on camera, like kind of like the one you've got off to the side there is like still in frame, but I had to have that bitch like way up here in the fucking thing, like dangling in front of my face, like just awaiting, some pleasure. But and since I wanted to take the podcast a little bit more seriously, like I ended up buying a microphone for Dormammu to get him going in a way. Did I buy him that one? I bought him something. I don't remember what I bought him. Either way, and then it's not even this model, but it's close to it. And then Ricky, he got a better microphone because he was just using his earbuds and those fucking blow. But then he damaged when he went up for Skullstis. He ended up fucking up his cables, so like his microphone wasn't plugging in right anymore. And like the funny thing is, I brought all my shit with me to record while we were up there. Ended up just leaving it in the box because, like, it was except for when we did record in person, and then it ended up not working right because I had all my settings all fucked up somehow, and like Ricky's audio didn't get captured, and then mine cut out part of it. At some point, it was just Alan, and we were just being heard through Alan's microphone. Shout out to Al Mac, by the way. Haven't heard from him in a little bit. Need to get a hold of the boy. Because you had him on a little while ago.
Yeah, he shot me a message maybe 2 weeks ago, just kind of catching up, just seeing how things were going. It's always weird because it's like, having that connection is like, yeah, like he's a really cool dude. Like I love talking to him, but then I always feel like, man, I don't want to message. I don't feel like, like getting in his space, and also just the time differences.
It's only 9-hour difference, so I mean, like as long like you just think that midday is almost evening for him. That's easy enough to remember. But he'll also stay up late as fuck, like because he's come on here like 2 or 3 times, and like he'll stay up. It's gonna be like 2 a.m, and he's fucking still hanging out with us.
Yeah, he's messaged me where it was late for me, like not late. But it had to have been dumb late for him, like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. for him. And I was like, okay. I mean, because as I'm replying, I'm like, he's got to go to sleep eventually, right? And he's still replying back. I was like, all right, we can keep talking.
Yeah,
I'm good.
I've done the same thing with him, too. And, of course, on the Zoom call, sometimes we would just go for fucking ever. It'd be 3 a.m. for him. It's like, dude, go to fuck to sleep. It's like the other people in the UK or in that chunk of Europe, it's like they've already left and Alan's still going. I do like talking to Al though, and he was wanting to up his microphone game to record more, either for himself or be able to be on other people's podcasts. I don't know if he's actually got around to that. So, like I said, I need to check in with him. It's been a minute. So because he was going to be, I was going to message him and see if he wanted to be on. If I would do a double recording soon, for a week, maybe I'll pull him in because we got. Because this is episode 72, maybe for 75, I'll call him. Like, we're doing kind of like every, 25, like at 50, like everybody we've ever had basically came on. I also need to get a hold of Mr. Skullface and see if I can get his ass on here, because he apparently did RHP the other night. So that should be fun.
Yeah, I was going to try to see when they were recording this week, because I'm off on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. I was like, maybe I'll go up and record if it's early enough. I just never followed up, and I feel like I might message him later, like, hey, when are you guys recording if you didn't already record? Yeah. If it's early on a Wednesday, because there have been times where he'll like 7 a.m. on a Wednesday. I'm like, all right, I'll be there.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Like, all right, yeah, like that's enough time for me to get there to record, and I can still get to practice.
And you got some day, yeah.
But his Halloween party is this coming weekend, so I'll be there.
Oh yeah. You'll be up there hanging out. So
but yeah, I wanted to record with them.
Teasers for the costume?
I'm sorry.
What's your teaser? Any teasers for your costume?
80s. It's a 80s.
I was gonna say that's pretty broad.
Well, so no, I'm not.
Okay.
It's a 80s character. I don't want to like. It's hard to say anything without fully giving it away.
Does this character stab or slash anyone?
No, well, kind of slash.
Okay.
But it's and that doesn't even really give you too much.
Does it require a mask or just like makeup and prosthetics?
I will have a mask. I will actually have a full suit, just about.
Okay. I'll have to see this then, because that is a pretty broad thing. So this should be interesting. All right. Wait, late 80s, early 80s.
I would say late, like 80. Let's say 86.
Okay.
Let's see.
All right.
When the movie came out.
So we know it's a movie character.
It's a movie character.
I'm just slowly dragging it out of him.
I just don't want to say full. When does this come out?
Friday, this week.
Friday. Oh, nah.
Yeah, don't give it away totally, but
it's an 85 movie, so mid 80s.
Okay, I can work with that. I will go do that. I expect pictures after the fact. So like for my own gratification, not for public consumption. I just want to see, because you have your remnants of an older costume behind you, as we discussed a couple weeks ago, and that's pretty fucking cool. So. I need to see. I don't even know if we're doing any Halloween parties this year. We have not yet been invited, but this month has been so chaotic. Who the fuck knows? Because a couple of years ago, because we used to go to a coworker's big old Halloween party like every year. Like they had like a fuckload of people. They went all out on food and drinks, and the house is decorated all the hell. Like it's a big fucking deal. But they got kids and whatnot too, so they got like the bounce house and all kinds of shit. It's like a neighborhood block, like a neighborhood block party situation. They toned it down. Yeah, they fucking toned it down. But we used to go every year. But I meant to 2 years ago, because last year things went weird. The only costume I wanted was to go as a Ukrainian gangster. So I wanted to go full Adidas tracksuit and the fucking cheap gold, and just walk around with a shitty accent the whole night, and just embrace my roots, basically. But I think right now, because of the way I wanted to do for Renaissance this year, which we just did yesterday, I was embracing my other heritage and going a little bit more Viking. So that's why my beard is much longer, and my hair, like, you never really get to see my hair, but my hair's like gotten long. It's not the longest it's ever been. If you could imagine, when I was a youngster, my hair, I fucking youngster, I was like 21. My hair was down to my shoulders, and the beard was nice looking. And by the way, I had a lot more hair back then. Actually, that just came up in my history on Facebook. I only have one really bad low-res image of that shot, but I was looking good. I was suited up for my buddy's wedding. My hair was fucking long and luxurious. It was the longest it ever was, and that shit was like draping on my shoulders, if you could even imagine. Fucking imagine me about 95 pounds lighter and long hair and, kick-ass beard. Now it's all gray, but back then it wasn't. So
Steve always reminds me of like when Sarah and I had our first apartment, well, technically our second apartment, and people were always over playing cards, so we always had cameras out and just taking pictures of shit we probably shouldn't have been taking pictures of. Yep. And he always reminds me, he's like, yeah, I got pictures of you with like a fro. I was like, that's wild to even think, because like I haven't grown my hair out like that in so long, just because, man, it's pain in the ass to try to keep it like looking, fly
and even.
So,
you don't want any divots, you don't want any gaps unless it's on purpose.
Yeah, so I just ended up taking the clippers, no guard, and
down it. Yep.
Cleaning it up.
Yep. Yeah, because whenever, I don't know when I'll decide to stop growing my hair out, because I might wrap it all, like my beard, I might just wrap it out to my birthday. See how long we can really get, because that was the whole idea this year, was that, I start over new on my birthday, I take it down to bare minimum beard, and then start over. But I've had the idea, it's like, I want to try to go a little bit more Viking style, so I needed to grow my hair out for Renaissance. But it's slowed down a little too much. It's like, it's nowhere near as long as I'd like it to be. I can't even put on like a shitty man bun yet, not even like the little fucking like baby top knot with a rubber band. And the other thing is, because the way I started it, I didn't grow out the back, so I didn't go like full mohawk style. If I had done that, we'd be in a different place. But it would look weird because the top and the back would be like significantly different lengths if I had done it that way. But I tried to do that a little while ago, and Jessica made fun of me because I didn't get it very even because I cut my own hair. It's like, well, then fix it for me. You can see the back of my head. I can't. And she's like, it looks stupid. Don't do it. I'm like, God damn it. So I just had to fucking cut it off. I just fucking I do my own hair because it costs too goddamn much to go to a basic barber now. Dude, like even like I went to Texas Hair Team, which is like a fucking huge chain of fucking hair places, right? Like just getting a bullshit regular haircut got up to like $45.
Nah, relax.
And I'm like bald. Like, come on. I was like, so I just like the mother-in-law got me some clippers a few years ago. So like I started cutting my hair then. I did it way back when. I just used my beard trimmer and fucking went to town, right? I left the top at a certain length, and I just took the sides down to nothing. And then like now I got a up-to-date clipper set because my other ones were like busted and fucking like the motor sounded like shit. I still have it in case shit, or if I need to trim anything that isn't bought any hair on myself, because I bought some faux fur to do a project, so I needed to buzz that down a little bit. It's not going to use my good trimmers for that. Fuck that. So
I don't know where my old trimmers are, but they're heavy as fuck.
Yeah,
and like metal.
Yeah, same.
Not good.
No, and also every now and then you got to trim down the nether regions too, and I don't necessarily want to use the ones for my face down there. But I also need to be careful to make sure I got the right guard on there, or there will be blood. So Renaissance yesterday, we got there early like we usually do. They didn't do like the opening show like outside the fucking gate like they usually would do, but maybe they just only do that opening weekend. But it used to be every fucking week, 20 minutes before the gate opens at 9, they do a whole like show out front, like the king queen come out and whatever theme it is for the thing, and the bagpipe players come out there. They didn't do any of that. Like we were there like at 8:30 and they didn't do fuck all. Gates open at 9, scare the fuck out of everybody because they fire off the cannon. Nobody's expecting it. They fucking fire off the cannon, scare the shit out of everybody. And then they like half-ass like check everybody through the gate. I'm like, they're not even looking in bags. I was like, wow, they don't even take this seriously anymore. I'm like, we could have snuck in anything. They wouldn't even fucking notice. Because we take the big backpack and we fucking bring in any supplies we think we might need, because fuck buying a bottle of water.
Yeah.
And so like just getting in the gates was $85 fucking dollars with parking. But we get the preferred parking, so we're like within the first couple rows, and they'll also like take you to the front gate with a cart, so you can save your ass some walking. And with Jessica's busted foot, that saved. We literally didn't walk in or out of that place, And they told us, hey, if you're having problems, they do rent scooters inside, if you need one, but usually get that shit early because they'll go real easy for the handicap folks and the Uber fats. But we had a good time. Saw some of the shows. Kind of sad though. Some of the stuff that we tend to go for, they weren't there. Like there's a traveling show. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. I don't know. I get it confused. It's a belly dancing show, right? Because Jessica really likes the belly dancers. It's something about the shiny jingly things that she really enjoys. Just hold up some keys and do that. So they weren't there because they have like the whole Greek village thing, and that's usually where one of the shows is. But this one was in a different venue there, but it was another belly dancer show, and they weren't there at all. It was the other guys who were still there, and their show not nearly as good. Way too like overproduced and silly and family friendly. Okay. The non-family friendly shows, the one we tend to go to. We tend to go to all the like crazy musical comedy things and stuff like that. So we usually go to see Two Merry Men, which is now no longer Two Merry Men. One of the Merry Men decided to retire. He's been at it for 40 fucking years, and he said, I'm not doing this shit anymore. So now it's just a merry man. But he had already been doing his own standalone show called Menage a Moi. So he does a blend of his own stuff and their stuff, which is sad because without having another character to bounce off of, he has to rely on the audience. And if the audience isn't engaging as much, then it's kind of boring, and he has to force it a little bit. And he's a cool dude, so it's like, I hate to see that. That's one of those things. It's like, oh man, like they were at fucking institution, man. And they're not from here. Like, most of these shows travel all over the fucking place. They do Renaissance fairs everywhere, all across the country to make money. And
I didn't realize, I don't know why it never occurred to me that Renfest, like, it's done other places.
Yeah.
So I'm here in Maryland, like, oh, Renfest. And then I saw you post and someone else posted it somewhere else. I was like, oh, I guess it isn't just Maryland exclusive. Duh. There is a world outside of Maryland.
It's weird, isn't it? It's weird that they put some. I mean, the fact that there's a world outside of Texas is really crazy. Like the rest of the country, it's Texas and the 49 bitches is really what it turns into. But the fact that we have multiple Renfests in Texas is what's fucking nuts. So we have
the
Texas.
State.
Well, it is, but we have the Texas Renaissance Festival fucking claim that shit. Like, nope, we're claiming it, goddammit. Now, no state affiliation, not like the state fair, which is like really like state. But then there's Sherwood Forest, which is closer to like Austin, and then there's another one that I can't remember the name of that's closer to Dallas. So they're like every like 250 miles, kind of. Like we just have lots of space for them, so fuck it.
Yeah.
And then another show. So this is how this shit works. So there was another duet. There were some sisters. Funny thing is, they always claim that, this is my brother, this is my sister, and you're never sure if it's fucking real. And it was Iris and Rose. And 2 years ago, Iris retired. She said, I've done this long enough. I'm older. I want to see the world. And she literally moved to fucking like Prague or something, like somewhere fucking Eastern Europe. She just fucking picked up her cats and fucking moved and said, fuck this life. And it was at the beginning of COVID. So even if she wanted to fucking come back, she was literally stuck in fucking Europe. So she left her sister, who
fucking sucks here. I want to come back.
Exactly. And so her sister, Rose, is still stuck doing this shit. And the first year back, she had just gotten married, so now she's doing a show with her new husband, and it was called Thorny and Rose. Kind of keep it in there. And a similar vibe, singing and jokes and whatnot, inappropriate humor where applicable. And then this year, gone. Like, it's just like just couldn't hold shit together without her sister, or they just couldn't make it this year for some reason. So, and then there was another show that debuted last year that wasn't there at all this year, and then another brand new show introduced, which was what we watched, and they were like humiliation comics. Like their whole thing was just to fucking bring, you pay them, they humiliate somebody. And they kind of ended up the show, like, it's Sunday morning, so people are a little bit less awake to do shit and a lot less drunk to do shit. So they ended up just torturing this one man and his daughter back and forth. So it started with her paying to torture him, and then he paid to torture her, and then he ends up back on the stage again. And it's two young, attractive girls in costume doing the thing, so can't complain. But oh my god, the cringe at the final punishment. Oh, because the whole idea was just to embarrass the fuck out of whoever it was, right? And because he's an older dude. And they said, what do you call it when a woman, thinks something is cute and she starts doing whatever, and you get baby talk, oh, you're so cute, look at your little baby, that kind of nonsense. And they're like, but men have sexy talk. And they're like, oh yeah, look at that shit. Fuck that. And he said, what could possibly be the worst thing that could happen? Sexy baby talk. So they start sexy baby talking up on this dude. Like, oh, Larry is so hot. It's like, And I'm just like, oh my God. Like they said, look, this is a torture show. We didn't say it was just for him. So it's literally like now they're torturing the whole audience with this embarrassment. And like it was fucked. Don't get me wrong, but I bet like the longer that show goes on through the day and people are drunker, I bet it gets significantly funnier than at 11 a.m. But
Alcohol always makes things kind of start flowing a little bit more.
it does.
Smoothly.
It does. And usually we drink a lot more, but fuck, the prices went up just like everything else. It was $24 for 2 fucking beers. Like, and not even like big fucking beers, because you wanted to like the jumbo souvenir cup that was like $30 on its own with whatever fill, and I'm like, we're just give me the fucking bullshit 16 ounces, and I'll throw those shits away because we already have like a dozen of them, because it's actually like the Ren Fair fucking cups. And I was like, we keep them for little bullshit drinking cups, and if we ever have kids, that'll be the kids cups, So we don't even get that drunk. Basically, I think I only had 4 beers. No, we had 4 beers and then a bottle of mead. And the bottle of mead was $34 by itself, which is to be expected. They upcharge all the fucking mead. Like, what's a $20 bottle? Its specs is fucking $44 here. It's like 110% markup. It's fucking insane. But I wanted something. I just didn't want another beer, and I really enjoy mead. Even if it is the basic bullshit Renfest mead, it's still better than some of the garbage I've bought on purpose, other places. So, it's like, fuck it. I'll live with it. We'll get tipsy. And then after we had that and we watched the Belly Dancer show, it's legit like 3:45, give or take. And normally we stay all the way till the 6:30 closing show at the Red Lion, which is like the last like massively R-rated fucking blowout, no kids allowed fucking shows. And I don't mean it's like nudity or anything else like that. It's just the content.
Bunch of fucking.
The content is through the fucking roof, but not the actions. Like there are some places that I think some of that might happen in there, but it is literally, those are like 21 and up establishments even within the thing, and it's not open. There's no windows and shit. I think that does exist somewhere in Pirates Cove. Because like they added the whole fuck off like pirate section with like a 2-story bar and shit with another outdoor stage. They added a lot more small venues and stuff like that since last year. They had a fire in 2021. They had to replace a few booths that burned down in the off season. I think it was a lightning strike or something, because people have to maintain that shit all year long, even though nobody's fucking using it. It's like, it's kind of too bad this isn't like a biannual situation where like, you could have like a fucking spring one and a winter one, do them like fucking 8 months apart or something. It'd be kind of fun, because it only runs from beginning of October to the end of November. I mean, it's only 2 months of weekends.
Yeah, I don't know how long ours run. I know it starts up August.
Yeah,
and
August. We couldn't do that here. It would be unbearable.
I mean, it fucking sucks here too. Which like, cause we went once in August, and it wasn't complete like like the South.
Mm-hmm.
But for us, it was like, okay. Well, for me specifically,
it's hot for you Northerners.
It's like, I'm not doing this.
Damn
and
Yankees.
Then I think it runs. So I know my friend, she just said she was supposed to go this past Saturday. I was like, oh, that's what's still going. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that or they started back up or something. Because like some of them will go for like 3 months, and some are like 3 weeks. Like it's fucking nuts.
Actually, it's 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
6 weeks
on the dot. Yeah.
Because there's like a 6-week pass you can buy, and then there's something different every weekend.
Yeah, exactly. Different theme. Yeah.
So you can buy that 6-week pass, because my old neighbor got the 6-week pass.
Yeah, they do it here too, and I think it's 8 weeks technically. Like I said, first weekend of October all the way through to the weekend after Thanksgiving, and that's their Christmas one. That they have the Halloween weekend. Like this weekend was 1001 Dreams. I think the first weekend is Barbarian, generally speaking. So we either go first or second to coincide with Jessica's birthday, just depending on when we get to go. See, like last year, it was this week, or it was this week last year that we went, but it was the opening weekend. It wasn't the second week. So, it just depends on when it falls, right? And dude, the fucking weather was immaculate. Like it was 55 degrees when we got up in the morning, It was a high of like 75, fucking nice breeze all goddamn day. I got a little bit of sun because we did actually do some walking. I figured we'd be doing a lot of sitting and doing nothing, but we actually went around, checked out some shops. We hit up like one or two other things we'd never do. One, what's the word I'm looking for here? What's the word I'm looking for? When you do something every like year, what's the word I'm looking for?
Annual?
Not annual, and it's like a. God damn, I don't know why this word is escaping me right now. Not a habit, not a ritual. Fuck, why is that word escaping me right now?
Habitual?
No, I can't think of the word. It's like a family blank. Like something you would
Tradition?
do. Tradition, I guess, is. We'll go with tradition. Tradition's close enough to the thing that I'm looking for. So one of the traditions I have since we've been going, I got a walking stick the first time we went because my fucking foot was fucked up, so I wanted the walking stick. And every year we go since, when we go to the mud show, which is pretty much what it sounds like, but it's not what you're thinking, because in your head you're thinking bikinis. No.
Oh yeah.
Gross old men. But they're not fighting in the mud. They're using the mud to fight. But I get my stick blessed with the mud, and that's also not what you're thinking.
I mean,
shut up.
Yeah.
So I literally have 5 years worth of like mud build up. So I have them like splat and then just get some mud on there where I don't handle it, So it's a weird tradition of something I want, a just random fucking idea I had that first year that we went, and then I've carried it on since. The only time I didn't do it was the year I forgot my walking stick. So that sucked. But we go to the mud show, which it's the same no matter when you fucking see it. It's the same goddamn show every fucking time, but it's fun every fucking time. There's a lot of audience participation. It's just dumb. Turn your brain off and enjoy. And try not to sit in the sunlight because fuck, they have never bothered to add a third cover, which would stop the problem of all the sun coming in the afternoon. Because, of course, when they built most of this shit, the world was at a slightly different angle, so the sun was slightly different. And that is actually true. Because apparently we have pumped enough water into different regions to actually alter the tilt of the Earth, supposedly. So, especially in China, supposedly. So
I won't argue it.
Yeah. So either way, I got more mud on my stick, so that was good. Like I said, tradition. I don't think that's exactly the word I want, but tradition works. It feels like it starts with an H. I don't know why that's in my head, an H. It's not a habit, but it's something like that. I don't know why. It doesn't matter. It'll come to me at the end of the fucking stream. I'll just suddenly be like, this was the fucking word. So that was yesterday. And then today, the big news is we went and emptied out my bank account to fucking buy Jessica a new car. And that's not saying much because there wasn't much in the bank. It was just the money we got from the insurance. But we were already past our limit on the rental. We didn't know that. We found out when we returned it. So when the insurance put the car as a total loss, they said we'd have 6 extra days. So I'm thinking we've got till the 20th. The insurance never told Enterprise that that's what was going on. So we had like an extra... See, and then on 13th return, so we had an extra 3 days on there. Still not retarded expensive, but enough to go like, great. So, so we got the new car. It's nice. It's 10 years newer than the car we wrecked, so there's that. But it also costs 10 years more expensive. But for a vehicle that is only 4 years old to have such low mileage and be in such good shape for that price, we literally didn't look at anything else. We went there and we're lucky because it was nearly bought Saturday. Someone came in there. We were going to go look at 2 cars, a 2021 Camry that had low miles on it and was somewhat affordable, which was weird. And then this car, which I'm not going to talk about what it is, just to keep some, internet safety. And the thing is that they were roughly a couple $1,000s off from each other, but 2 years apart in thing. So whoever went in there Saturday looked at both of those cars and they bought the Toyota. This is what they told us. Like, they bought the Toyota. It's like, damn it. Okay, we'll go look at the other one. And so we ended up with the other one. So there was like legit in and out in 2 hours, which is nuts. I've never bought a car that fast. That wasn't a cash deal in someone's backyard, you know. And even that has taken longer time because I needed a fucking, you know, trailer to fucking get it out at the end. I couldn't drive away with it. So that part is over. I will also say that we have begun litigation for her injuries. Because even though the bruising is healed, the actual pain is not going away. So like her ankle or her foot is messed up a bit. So and they were already going to do her actual pain doctor that she went to for unrelated reasons. After then finding out about the accident, said, let's get an MRI on your neck and make sure it's okay. You know, because you know you were in this pretty hefty collision. And some people won't see anything weird for weeks after an accident like that, even if it's whiplash or something basic. And Jessica found out while talking about this is that somebody in her office a few years ago had been in a car accident, and like 3 weeks later, like some results came back, and they called them and they said, "Hey, wherever you are, you need to stop and go to an ER right now." And they're like, "What? Why?" And he's like, "Do not sneeze, do not cough, do your best to not move your head in any severe way." And they went and they put plates in his fucking neck because his neck was broken. Like he did not know, because like he wasn't even in pain. Like it was so fucked up, it probably pinched the nerve. He didn't even feel the pain, and like how he had gone weeks without even knowing, and also not fucking himself up. Because could you fucking imagine? You just think everything's fine and dandy, and then you have a sneeze at the wrong angle, and now you're paralyzed from the face down because you had a broken neck and didn't even fucking know it. Like, holy shit! Like, man, I couldn't even imagine. So she's scheduled to get an MRI here really soon, and she called today to see if they could also include her foot, because we got to throw that into the claim. So fun times. Okay, so away from all the sadness of me losing money, because now we also have a 6-year fucking car note that we can barely afford. So hoping, crossing fingers for fucking winning that suit, because that will at least pay off that fucking car at bare minimum. It's like, I don't care if we only get enough money to pay this fucking car off, and I'm back to start. Because the great thing is they checked in the financing. There's actually a no penalty for paying it off early, which I'm not used to. Almost every car I've ever bought that was financed, if you paid it off early, they fucked you. They hit you with some type of penalty because they want the interest. So they're like, so whatever we calculate the interest to be, we're going to punish you for if you fucking pay it off early. So, luckily, no penalty for that. So as soon as we get a sizable check, I don't care what it is, it's going at that fucking car. And then I'm going to refinance. If it's not paid off, refinance that bitch for whatever the tiny amount is. If it's small enough, fucking credit card, I don't care. Get the miles. Fucking afford to come back up to Baltimore. But Baltimore. But the good news is, if we ever wanted to go on a good road trip, now we have a fucking decent car to do it in, because there was no way we were going to drive her car to fucking Maryland before. That's why we got that rental. That was more annoying.
Yeah, we got a rental when we went up to Detroit for the family reunion. Things like that never even occurred to me.
Yeah,
because my grandparents, we would just drive their car, and then when we went up, so I was like, yeah, we're just gonna get a rental, because even though my car wasn't too far gone, it was still relatively new, and hers was, not.
Yeah,
like, let's just rent. What did we rent? A Toyota Camry, and
fuck yeah. It's perfectly good.
Nice.
That's a perfectly good fucking car. Yeah. Has there been any headway on what you guys are going to do car wise?
So, it's funny that like when you brought that up, I get home and Sarah tells me she called Toyota because she was like, "Wait a minute, I don't have my fucking title." So she calls Toyota. Was like, "Hey man," like, well, she didn't say it like that. I would have. Yeah. She was like, "Hey, so I never got my title. And they're like, oh yeah. Now we thought the car's paid off 5 years ago.
Uh-oh.
There's still a payment due.
What?
And no one ever said anything
Hold on.
to anyone.
So there's been a like a outstanding payment for like 5 years, and they've not done a fucking thing. Or
no
or
one
somebody
said
else
it.
been getting those notices.
Yeah, it was, yeah. For all we know, yeah, someone else was getting a notice because we get other people's mail constantly over here.
Oh,
But
it's fucking annoying.
she was like, okay, which to me, I'm like, hold on, no, so shenanigans. But she paid them the payment, and they're like, and then the young lady on the phone was like, okay, I can't remember. I think she said initially, okay, you'll get the title in 2 months or something. She was like, this sounds suspect. Then my wife spoke to someone else, and they're like, nope, you'll get it in a month. And then she spoke to someone else, like, you should see it in a week.
Yeah, sometimes that
Like,
shit.
okay.
Yeah, because they say it's anywhere from like 4 to 6 weeks, and then that shit will show up in like 2 weeks. Like,
Yeah.
in my
I
my
get
job, I have had to I've served people their titles, as it were. Because you can tell depending on where it's coming from. And then that shit happens. Because even Jessica was like, "Hey, wait a minute, when are we gonna get our plates?" I'm like, "Probably within a week." And like they'll call us and tell us to come get them. That's what they usually do. Yeah, and if we say something, they can just send them to the house for all it fucking matters.
Hmm.
I mean, we're fucking 5 miles, if that, from the dealership. So, oh no, we have to go pick up the fucking things. But it's a nice car. That's one thing that is nice about that. So hopefully you guys get your shit settled away pretty quick and don't get totally fucked. But that is funny. That is funny to think that there was an outstanding payment, but I guess that was the COVID years on top of they probably didn't give a fuck. It's like, hey, you still owe us like $285. I was like, with interest? And they're like, no, just the bare minimum. It's like they could have been fucking they could have been killing you with interest for 5 fucking years and you have like a $4,000 fucking remainder without even knowing it.
Well, yeah, that's what I was like. Oh my god, like I'm sorry, what? Because now I'm freaking out because I'm like, well, let's call Capital One to make sure my shit's paid
Fucking
off.
Capital One, dude. Same. That's where we're at.
I fucking hate them so much.
I do too, but
Like,
that's who fucking did it.
yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. Is like as much as I hate them, it's like, oh, okay, they're the ones that for my car at least, they're just cunts all around.
Of course.
So.
Well, see, like part of me, because I've banked with, I've been with J.P. Morgan since it was fucking Bank One. Like nobody fucking remembers Bank One. Nobody, unless you're born after the 80s. Like there might be some old checkbooks of mine that still say Bank One somewhere, buried at my mom's house for all I fucking know. But I've been with them forever, and like in theory, I could have just, if I had known, I would have just gone straight to the bank, and they said you're already pre-approved for, because I already was running my credit shit just to keep track now, and I got the credit protection through them because, I thought there was a weird breach of data not long ago from one of my old employers, so they said, hey, go secure your shit, and I'm like, and Chase offered it for free just by being a fucking member of the thing. I was like, fucking yeah. So they monitor my credit and they lock down all my shit. So I was like, okay, cool. But I found out it's like, I could just go get 25,000 fucking automotive loan, like no problem, directly from my bank. And be like, that'd have been convenient. But no, they never go to my bank first. They go straight to fucking Capital One,
Of course.
which I'm sure doesn't have BlackRock or State Street or any of those guys fucking backing them in any way, shape, or form. But what was I thinking? So either way. Get back on track here. I'm trying to be cognizant of the time because we do have some topics for today. And I also did forget to mention, hi, patrons who can watch us here on video. So if you do want to see an uncut video version of the podcast, you can go check out the Shoky Reviews Patreon, where actually I picked up three freebie patrons who are doing the 7-day trial. So hopefully one of them will also come in and come hang out with us there on the patrons. So like I said, you get the uncut version of this. You do get 3 times a month calls where we just sit and bullshit or whatever. there on the Patreon, and also you get vlogs, out the box reactions and shit like that for anything I get in from the Shoky Reviews channel, and sometimes we just have conversations that other places don't like to have happen. So that's what's fun about having a Patreon call, because you can just sit and fucking talk and nobody's going to shut you down, and you can talk about whatever, and it's just fun, have a nice little community, and I enjoy it. I like my peoples. So if you want to do that and help support all my channels, you can go do that, because YouTube ain't paying shit these days. And fucking Podbean sure as hell ain't paying for nothing. Realistically, all my money from Patreon just goes to pay for fucking Podbean to host the podcast in the first place. And what else? Oh, if you want to write into the show, you can do so at NowYouMadeItAwkwardMail@gmail.com. You can check that out in the description below. If you don't feel like trying to remember how that's spelled, you can just copy and paste that shit. Also, because one of our main emailing people has been busy with his life, Jay, I do want to say condolences and rest in peace to Jay's dad, who passed away last week, roughly 2 months after his mom passed away. So he is at peace, so that's good. But it is a big stress on the family, but Jay's doing his best. So shout out to you, buddy. We are here if you ever need to talk. You want to write in, of course you can reach out to me directly, you know how. But he let us know on Friday that his dad had passed, and he's having a rough time. He barely made it through his mom's passing, and his brother took his dad off his hands so that he could go get a job and to try to deal with bills. And then his dad passed away there. So they both had major health problems. So a sad day for that. So sorry, I'm phlegmy as fuck. All that dust yesterday, dude. So one thing that sucked about that breeze, it just kicked up the dust. And the changing of the weather is always fucky down here. Like, it's 90 one day and fucking 50 the next. It just fucks with everything. Everything hurts as well. So yeah, by the way, so this is funny, and we were joking earlier about breaking forearms. So when I was in physical therapy this morning, I mentioned that, hey, I've had some crazy numbness in my hands the last few days. I don't know what the fuck's going on. And they're like, is it like the whole arm? And I'm like, no, it's just like kind of like from the elbow down in my hand. It's like, is it just a couple fingers? And I'm like, no, it's kind of all of them. And so she looks at my arm and she just starts thumbing around, like just fucking moving around. And she goes, Brr, and then starts rubbing. And it's like, God damn it. Like, it's just, like my whole forearm was apparently so tense. It was squeezing the fucking nerves and twisting my fucking bones. Like, for whatever reason, like, just and so she massaged out some of the stuff, and like she popped all my fingers and like was popping my wrist. But whoa, what the fuck? The hell is on my knuckles? Oh, I'm sitting here looking like, what the hell is? I was fist down in the side of my chair here, so I got the imprint from the chair. I was like, what the fuck is this? As I'm sitting here talking about it. So she worked my wrist, she did the forearm and everything like that. She said, you need to massage it in these couple places at least twice a day. And I told her, I was like, well, I got some TENS units. Will that work? She's like, yes, that'll work. Fucking just put a couple things here and here and just get that to relax. I was like, I didn't even know that was going on. And like, I couldn't, and she like told me to move my hand, and like, I couldn't quite turn all the way. And like, even doing this, like, I can tell she definitely unlocked it because my wrist is popping now. So it was so fucking tense that it was pulling things out of alignment and pinching the fucking nerve. So sometimes you got to pay attention to your body, like, and like, I'm guessing part of that is me sleeping like this. You can see me, they can't. But yeah, like arm twisted, hand under my head. I'm sure that has something to do with it. You got to watch your sleeping positions, maybe all of it. And you know, it's just, my back is getting better. The pain in my ribs is not nearly as severe as it was. It comes and goes now, but it's nowhere near as like stabby pain, like all the way through my body. So therapy's been working, but I need to do more of the workouts.
You sound like you do jiu-jitsu.
Shit. I just work for a certain company that beats the fuck out of you every day.
My left shoulder just randomly started like clicking.
Yeah.
Because in jiu-jitsu, I tap early. Like, I don't, some submissions I fuck around with, like chokes, because I have a stocky neck. So it's hard to actually get in there and choke me.
They can't
So,
get
you
in
know,
there and
yeah, the arteries are like kind of protected, like my shoulders is just like
yeah.
here.
He does ridiculous
So I,
traps, so they can't do it. Is what you got to do.
I fuck around with them. Like
Yeah.
last week, a teammate was like,
That's fun.
watching me roll. He goes, dude, why did you let him just have you on the triangle? I was like, I'm not worried about his triangle. You can't fucking choke me. Fuck out of here. And then when I roll with him, who is 2 belt ranks higher than me, he went for a triangle as well. And I'm like, dude, it's like seriously, like you are not going to fucking choke me. Then he armbarred me instead. So I was like, okay, you got me.
You probably should have
But
just gone for the choke.
yeah,
Like, just go
well,
for the choke. Like, save the arm bar.
well, that was the thing. He was going for the triangle. He was
Yeah.
trying, and we talked after. He was like, I was trying for that triangle. I just couldn't get it. And I was like, I told you. Like a few years back, I said not to everyone, but to quite a few people, was like, look, if you can get me to tap to a triangle, I owe you dinner.
Yeah.
And people are going for it. Some people I dive into the triangle, just because it's like I know your legs will burn out like before you get me because first off, I posture up anyway, so it's a lot harder anyway. And even if you get me down into the position, like my shoulders are broad, so I'm kind of expanding a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not stressed about it, but
So you just like you spread your shoulders and pull your neck down. You're like, you ain't getting me.
it was like I'll kind of like shrug in a
You're-
little bit,
you're turtling.
but I'm pushing like like I'm still kind of like blowing my back up a little bit. So
Oh, I bet you do.
it I'm not blowing it out.
No, you're blowing it up.
But yeah, like when it comes to like chokes, like I don't feel threatened, but when it comes to like any joint locks, I do tap, relatively
Quick, yeah.
Sometimes before you even get the lock in.
You could feel it's going. You're like, nope, not gonna let this go all the way.
Now, I will say about a month ago, there was an arm bar that I fought out. Just because the person that had the arm bar, I'm not going to give him the satisfaction of getting a tap out of me.
Yeah.
So I did what we call a hitchhiker escape. And once I got out, I punished him. I was like, you motherfucker. But it like my shoulder just started getting fucking weird. I thought it was slightly out of dislocated slightly
Yeah.
because I was sitting on the couch and I like kind of braced myself to kind of push up off of it and it popped and everything felt good. I was like, okay, I think I'm all right. And then 3 days later it started hurting again.
Yeah.
So I know Sarah keeps telling me to go to the doctor, and I think my concern is like, well, they're gonna tell me I can't train for a month.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, but then if you get fucked up, you can't train for the rest of your life. So I'll go in and get looked at and try to. I honestly need to go get a massage, just like a good deep tissue massage, and try to fucking treat my body right. But until then, nope. Gonna be out there this weekend getting my ass kicked. Maybe Wednesday. I'm off on Wednesday. I might go out Wednesday, go to class, get the shit kicked out of me for 90 minutes.
Why not?
I mean, it's all the competition guys. They love the fucking punish people. It's not a casual class at all. Yeah, that's the big thing on my end. It's just fucking trying to recover from injuries in Sarah's car. Debacle.
Yeah, I was gonna say those two things have nothing to do with each other, but you've stopped at a funny spot. Yeah, like because that was the other thing, like because I want to get back in the gym and get stronger. Like they're teaching me a lot of like just shit I can do here at the house. I don't have to get down. I mean, we have a gym. That's the crazy part. But I really want to get my upper back stronger. I want to get my shoulders stronger. So I want to get that pull down bar going and do the simulated pull-ups because ain't no fucking way my fat ass is doing an actual chin up. I couldn't back when I weighed less. I just was never that strong, but I want to get that going again, get my core strength back up, which I'll definitely let fucking go. But I gotta lose weight. Like there's just no ifs, ands, or buts. Like I've gotta fucking lose weight. And like I've said before, I can do it. I just gotta fucking break down. And I'll tell you now, this past week, I don't know if it's depression or because sometimes being in physical recovery, you get hungry because your body's rebuilding and it needs something. I fucking ate like a pig this week. I don't know what the fuck was going on. Yes, definitely stress and all that from Jessica's stuff. But I also didn't eat bad. And by that, I mean I didn't eat garbage. I actually ate decent food like all week long. Like we made steaks the other night that were fucking fantastic. Used my fucking Wagyu beef tallow, which is fucking awesome. Definitely going to be frying more stuff in that. Because you can't get much better than for a fucking meat fat to fry stuff in. I was gonna get some lard as well because you need lard for making specific items. Like really good biscuits are made with lard, like and stuff like that. You don't want to use fucking butter. Fucking put lard in that bitch, not Crisco. Fucking lard has a completely different taste. People don't know this, so. But then also it was her birthday, so we've had like decent food coming in and out. And fuck, like when they went out to party, like they had a rep come into her job, which brought like fantastic fucking food for lunch. So she brought home like a bunch of fucking food. But then she also went out to eat with work for her quote unquote birthday party. And a rep brought a whole ass cake that nobody fucking ate off of. So she brings home all these taquitos and shit like that from this restaurant. She brings home a whole ass fucking chocolate cake, a box of fucking donuts, a box of fucking kolaches, and we already had fucking food. Like we had food. And like been eating off that for fucking days. Now we'll say yes, the donuts were fucking eating like garbage. I completely understand, and I admit to being a fat piece of shit. There's, especially when you're eating like 2-day-old donuts that have been sitting out and you're fucking reveling in that shit. But then also made tamales the other night, and tamales are fucking awesome, and I don't think enough people realize how good tamales are. HEB has some good ones. Like their fucking like in-house brand tamales are fucking good. And I actually bought some dessert tamales, which I've never done. Didn't get a chance to get at them. They're like cream cheese and cinnamon. So probably going to be pretty fucking tasty. But those are still in the fridge. But the other ones are just pork and Mexican cheese and jalapeno, which are both really fucking good together. So I've been eating, between all of that, I've been definitely eating and then spending way too much time in the bathroom, which happened way too much this weekend. I even got yelled at. Oh, by the way, I got called out by the missus. Apparently the door of my bathroom is not very soundproof. And so we've been together for 8 fucking years, right? We lived here for over 2. I've been living in a delusional fucking world where I thought nothing that happened in my bathroom was ever made public. Apparently she can hear any and all things happening in my bathroom, even despite the exhaust fan being on and being loud enough and her watching TV. So some of my more audible, not gonna say loud, some of my loud shits are apparently audible in the living room, along with any reactions I may have to such things are also audible to the living room. She's like, I can hear everything you do in there, right? And I'm like, what? It's like, yeah, I totally heard that, and then I heard what you did afterwards. And it was like, that's the size of relief or other gruntings. I think this episode,
who doesn't know farts make sounds.
Yeah, well, it's not that I had no delusion that they were loud. I had the delusion that it was kept secret in the room, because in her bathroom there's no way I can hear anything. Like, even if I'm in the bedroom, I can barely hear anything that happens when she's in the bathroom. Barely. So it never occurred to me the acoustics in our living room are different from my bathroom, so she can hear fucking everything. So now I'm having to actively be quieter when she's home. But that was a rude awakening there, that I found out that not only can she hear my loud shits, she can hear my sounds of relief, or my talking to myself, or reacting to videos like you sending me fucking ridiculous fucking memes and whatnot. Because we for those who don't know, Dante and I send each other memes like half the day, memes and other silly videos. And then sometimes there's some mega cringe happens, when you audibly have to go, what the fuck is this? And after you've just let out a big loud fart, inside and release, and you go, what the fuck? You know, if somebody hearing this from the outside, it's probably an interesting discussion. But I'm gonna name this episode "Other Gruntings," so I gotta write this down real quick for the title because I don't think it's gonna get better than that. So that was a rude awakening while I had to go to the bathroom, and she was waiting while watching one of the shows we've been keeping up with. So I can't remember if on the last episode we talked about how Ahsoka ended. I don't think we did. I know we talked about it. I don't remember if we got to the ending of it or not, but
I don't know. I don't recall.
have you finished it?
I have not.
Okay,
So that's why I don't.
so I
we
won't.
talked about
So I
it.
won't spoil anything. But I did like the ending of Ahsoka, and then Loki season 2 started up the same fucking week. I think I was with everyone else thinking it was going to start the next week. No, Ahsoka ended on Tuesday. Loki started on Friday, which I fucking hate when they drop shit on Friday. It's kind of annoying. I don't like Friday releases. I like my Tuesday or Wednesday releases. I want my middle of the day good show or middle of the week good shows.
So I was noticing that before Loki dropped, I kept looking at the date and I was like, "That's weird." I think Ahsoka that ends the same way, the same week. And normally they give you a week in between.
Yeah, like it'll be like
And
the next Wednesday or something. But no, they
yeah,
dropped it that Friday. So that leads me to believe that Ahsoka was not in its right slot. Like, because they dropped, what, the first 3 episodes, right? And then they sped through the next 5.
was it 3? I
I
thought it was
think it was.
2,
I think it was 3. I think they dropped the first 3, if I recall, or at least the first 2. It doesn't matter one way or the other. But I think they were behind like a month on that, in my opinion.
yeah.
So either way,
Well, Loki also kept getting pushed, like
a
because that was
lot of
supposed
things
to drop
did. Yeah, that should have
drop
been.
in the summer. So I mean, yeah, and
It was
so it
probably
was
supposed to be pre-Ahsoka, but I mean,
yes,
at least they're not in the same universe, so it doesn't matter if the order is fucked. But
true.
the first what 3 episode 2 3 fuck, it's hard to know anymore. No, 2 first 2 episodes of Loki have dropped. Loki season 2, and I'm
Yes.
loving it. I'm here for it.
So I'm going to go back and probably rewatch because I think the first episode we watched, I was fighting sleep.
Yeah,
I
I
was
remember
like,
you saying that. Yeah,
I can't do it. And the thing is, I am fascinated. I'm interested. I want to know more. Like, where are we
time
going with
travel.
this? And I'm just like fucking nodding off. And the end of the episode gets there, and of course I get all these messages from people talking about all the shit. And I'm like, dude,
I don't
I
even
don't
know.
fucking
Fuck.
know.
Yeah.
And then I watched the second episode and it was just as lost. So I was like, okay, I need to fucking go
Go
back and
back,
watch these
refresh.
both before Friday.
Yeah.
We get to the third episode.
Excuse me. But 2 things. Like, one, the acting is possibly better than it was even from season 1. Season 1 had some top-notch acting because Tom Hiddleston doesn't know how to phone it in. Like, even with a silly character like Loki, he had so much fucking depth of character just in the performance. Like the opening of season 2 where they're hunting down the one dude who's like hiding in the past, and he's like all
Mhm.
dressed up and debonair, but he's also pissed and on a fucking mission. And he fucking
Yeah.
plays that as the straight angry cop the whole time. And then like to be kind of the loose cannon later in the torture scene. Holy shit, dude. Like I was just like on board. I'm like, this is fucking great. And then to see like the Mobius character being like fucking just verbally assaulted and like having his world kind of shattered a little and him like basically be on the edge of tears, and then he gets so pissed off he slaps that dude, which was hilarious. He didn't punch him, he didn't do it, he fucking slaps him. And then they argue about it later, which was fucking hilarious in the McDonald's when he fucking,
Yes.
you slapped me. He's like, yeah, I did. I'm sorry about that. I was like, he was actually mad that he slapped him. It's like,
There's a level of disrespect that comes from
just
getting
a slap. Yeah.
slapped by another man.
Yeah.
As a man getting slapped by a man, it's like you would think like, yo, you're a bitch for slapping someone. Like, no, you're a bitch for
That's an
getting
insult.
slapped.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I don't even want to punch you. Like,
Yeah.
like you're not worth the punch. Here's a slap.
Yeah, because I think at that point, Mobius was so emotionally distraught, and that's Owen Wilson's character for everybody. Like,
Yeah.
people think that Owen Wilson is like this one-note actor. As like, just watch his portrayal of Mobius. It's like there's a weird depth to this guy who is both funny and like super serious at the same time, but then also like you can tell he's like the company man, and now that he knows the company is bullshit, he doesn't know what to do. But where everybody else is having this crisis of character, he's like, no, this is me. This is what I'm going to be. And I like that. Everyone else is like losing their fucking minds. They're like, now that the reality of what the TVA is and what they've been doing. And then I didn't think they would get to this, what happened in episode 2. I didn't think they would get to that for a little while, and they just straight went for the fucking jugular on that with the bombing of all the fucking extra timelines.
Branches.
Yeah, all the branches is like, holy fuck. Like, okay, so we know that Secret Wars is definitely going to be trimmed down, so to speak. But then again, that only stops the ones that happened then. It doesn't mean more aren't going to come.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see, and especially now they know that the TVA is in danger because it's still all kind of falling apart. And like, there's these theories out there that Ouroboros is supposed to be like the hidden bad guy. Like he could be fixing shit, but he kind of just lets things slide just enough to be dangerous because he feels resentment for the fact that the TVA was all altered around him and he's been left basically forgotten. So I mean, like, interesting idea. Or it's possible they're playing him as a variant of Kang who's been there the whole time. Like, no pun intended. So go ahead.
Well, that's a thing right now with Marvel, because I guess all the shit going on with Jonathan Majors, like they said, with Loki coming out, they're like, look, just let's not make any crazy decisions until we find out what's what.
Yeah.
But we still don't know what's going to come of this King storyline moving forward one way or the other. We just know that it's right here, right now.
Yeah.
We just got to, run with it. So they could be kind of fucking with some things a little bit to steer us one way anyway.
Yeah. Well, the good news is, at least with Kang, even if something happens and Jonathan Majors unfortunately has to get out of the role, he can always just have any other variant fill his spot.
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm kind of getting at.
It could be anybody.
They might just be priming us for that right now in some way,
dude,
possibly.
Look, I know that like all of that shit ended up kind of being like going his way instead, like at least so far. I haven't heard anything else about it since the court case was kind of thrown out a while back. Because they figured out, it's like, no, she was definitely lying in a lot of this, because there's fucking video footage of the stuff that she said happened. Nothing fucking happened. And they're like, nope, it couldn't have happened here. Nope, couldn't have happened here. Nope, couldn't have happened here. It's like all of her story was just unraveling like so many timelines. And like, dude, I don't care if you have like some personal bullshit, you can work on you. It's like, it's like these studios have got to stop this nonsense. Like the idea of cancel culture needs to fucking come to an end. And I know it's slowed down a bit, but there's still some people fucking getting canceled from shit. Like Tara Strong was just fucking canceled from at least one show. The actress Tara Strong. In fact, she's in Loki. She's Miss Minutes. She just got in trouble on Twitter and got fired from one show she was working on.
For what?
So she's Jewish. So things are happening in the world. So she kind of, had to, voice her side. Which is 100% fair because of what's going on between Israel and Palestine. And I don't think I've ever seen more clear battle lines drawn. Like, it's pretty fucking nuts, the way the world is going. And I don't want to dig too deep into it here today, but another day would be fine to dig into, especially if Ricky can come back since he's of Jewish nature. I want to actually, I legit want to hear his thoughts on all this. Because it's a complicated situation, and people have brought it down to, you need to pick the right side, you need to be on the right side of history, blah blah blah. And Tara did, she just stood up for her fucking self, and I know she definitely has had like major opinions in the past that people fucking don't like her for, and being somebody who's out of the loop on that, I'd be like, okay, and it's like, she's on the other side of whoop-de-fucking-do. I don't care. It's like, I like her for what she does, not what she says. If she goes and murders somebody, we'll have a talk. That's
always my feel on things, and I just, because I was weirdly enough, just think about this earlier, not this situation, but like whenever anyone has an opinion about anything,
Mm-hmm.
celebrity, whatever, and people getting their feelings about it, it's like, why do you fucking care? It's like, like you said, people are like, well, you got to be on the right side of history. It's like, look, man, like this whole thing that's going on, this war is going on. I'm going to be flat out honest. I don't know shit. I don't care. Sarah tried to talk to me about it. I was like, I'm going to be honest. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know why I don't care? It's because I'm tired. I'm sleepy.
Yeah.
I got Marvel Legends to fucking go find. I got fucking podcasts to try to fucking write. I got shit.
You
to
got life
do,
to live. Yeah.
Yeah. None of that has anything to do with me. And they're like, well, it could spill over. It's like, maybe, but what can I do? What
can you do? Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where it comes down to it. And like I said, not to get too deep into it. Not my pig, not my farm.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and I hopefully that's not more offensive than I mean it to be. I don't know whose religious things keep them from doing something with pigs, but it is what it is. Sorry for my lack of knowledge. It's like, once again, not my pig.
Like Muslims
I just
don't fuck with pork.
I forget which one. So sorry. Unfortunately, I forget. I don't care. Yeah. It's like I care that people are. I care that innocent people are dying, and I want that part to stop. The rest of it, I don't care. Y'all need to figure that shit out. Just stop killing each other's people to figure it out. But then again, it's not a modern fucking problem. This is a problem that's been raging for 1,000 fucking years. It's just coming to its modern interpretation of the same fucking fight. And that's the unfortunate bigness of it. And not only that, it has 6 billion fucking eyes on it, because some people don't have TVs in the world, or don't have Twitter, or sorry, Twix. But the idea that they kicked Tara or replaced Tara on this one show, whatever it was fucking called, I don't even care, Boxtown or something, I forget. I just heard about that today. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, okay. And they're like, well, she's had pretty spicy opinions. Like, I don't care if she's lefty or whatever. It's fucking Hollywood. That fucking happens. It's like, but they're usually canceling people from the other side, and they're like, it's all fine and dandy until they cancel you, right? And it's like, okay, but who gives a fuck anymore? It's like, did she kill anyone? No. Did she rape anyone? Not that we know of. Is she stabbing dogs on the sidewalk and filming it for TikTok views? No. I don't give a fuck then. It's like, let her have her own fucking opinions and thoughts, and don't fucking fire her for that. I mean, it's up to any business to do whatever, but the fucking Twitter shouldn't be making that decision. Her employer should make that decision, right? And if her employer just goes, oh, we don't give a fuck, and then just moves on about their day, like, I don't know, almost anyone should, unless she's talking shit about the production or the fucking head of the company or some shit. If she makes it about the company, cool. If it's about her own personal feelings and self-expression in regard to her religion and fucking, genetic makeup, it's like, okay, I think she might be allowed. But either way, difficult fucking political stance on a religious war that's happening half a world away.
Well, also the thing with, people kicking someone off of a show or canceling some, or a group getting mad at someone and then calling them out on Twitter. It's like, people always want to control somebody.
Yeah.
Like, if she wants to fucking feel how she feels, let her fucking feel how she feels.
Yeah.
Like, again, if she's not hurting anyone, then okay, she's got an opinion. Well, I've got a lot of fucked up opinions too.
You do.
And let someone come for me. It's like,
well, they don't care. Let's go to the mats. Bring it to the mat. We'll see. Yeah.
That's exactly how it is. Like, look, if you don't like what I like, that's fine. You don't have to like it. But if I don't like what you like, that's also fine. But if you want to make it a problem, we can make this a problem.
Yeah.
Like, look, I'm gonna, this has been out there. I've been listening to Taylor Swift. I kind of like her fucking music a little bit now. It's fucking bothering me.
It's not a little.
But oh no,
the best meme ever was fucking made this weekend. Is what fucking happened. You're fucking welcome.
No, that shit was fantastic.
It was a fantastic.
But the thing is like, if somebody's like, I have a friend who feels very strongly about Taylor Swift. She does not like her, and that's like, you don't have to. That's fine. It's okay. But if you have a problem with me liking Taylor Swift or anything, then that's your problem.
Yeah.
And that goes to anyone who has any problem with anybody for anything. That's your fucking problem. Don't try to make it someone else's problem. Make them lose their fucking job. When did it become a thing where like, oh, well, you are going against what I like, so you don't have the right to earn a living? Like, fuck all the way off with that shit.
I think sometime around Sandy Hook, if I had to guess.
Nah,
Speaking
probably.
of a particular TV host who has found his life insanely difficult since. Either way. But that was, I think that was, if you wanted to know the real answer, we've discussed this before, it's the fucking everyone gets a trophy generation that did this.
Nah,
Because
true.
once feelings became facts and also feelings became murder, that's when it really became, it's like, you hurt my feelings, therefore I need to destroy your existence. We didn't have that back in the day. We had, I'm sad, and then you go, okay, and then you go about your fucking day. It's like,
Yeah.
or you kicked someone's ass because they did something to you, and that was the end of it.
Well, that's the thing too. It's like, what's the saying? Silence is violence. It's like, well, violence is violence.
Silence is violence. Saying the wrong thing is violence. Saying nothing, or it's like saying the right thing can be violence, but for the other people, now you're offended both ways. You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. So just damn yourself, however you feel like.
That argument goes with so many things. It's like, look, at the end of the day, leave me alone.
Yes,
Leave other people alone. Let people earn.
And,
like, again, if no one's physically, like if no one's out there saying, hey, go out there and set dogs on fire. If someone's saying that, yeah, like,
shut them down.
bring the
Yeah.
motherfucker down.
Yeah.
But if someone says, look, I feel this way about this specific conflict,
Yeah.
Without saying, hey, we should behead them, like, if you have power, if you have influence, you're saying some fucked up shit, yeah, you take them down. But if you're just a regular motherfucker down the street, you say, well, I feel this way about it,
but
you feel that way about it.
I
Maybe I don't want to cool out with you, sure, but I'm not going to go to your job and try to fucking get you fired.
Yeah, but I think the problem is, and we've talked about cancel culture here before plenty of times, it comes down to the idea that, like you just said, sure, if it's somebody with influence, take them down. No, you treat them like they're the nobody on the street. Just because they can be heard doesn't mean they get to be shut down any more than the dude on the street talking shit. It's like, the result is the same. If what they said sucks, walk the fuck away. And if what they said is bad or literally leading to someone else being injured because of what they said, not the words hurt me, but literally like calling for an attack or threatening or whatever, sure, that's when you get authorities involved. But if it's just, hey, I feel this way about my people being murdered, and then everyone comes at them because they feel like the way they feel about this particular horrendous situation. It's like, look, I don't care which way it goes. People are dying, and that's all that fucking matters. It's like that, and I hate to quote a specific ex-president, I just want the killings to stop.
Dude, I was thinking that shit the whole time. I was like, I was going to say that.
Yeah.
It's like, look, I don't give a good goddamn about the dude one way or the other, but when he said that, it's like, he's fucking absolutely right.
That is the biggest thing.
Stop dying.
I just want the people to stop dying. Like, that's all it fucking matters, man. And it's like, I don't care if it's Ukraine, which, by the way, is like, oh, look, we haven't talked about Ukraine in fucking 7 days. And I'm starting to say it the way they do. Ukraine. I'm throwing a fucking big U on it. Ukraine. No, Ukraine. But it's just fucking nuts that we've gone from one thing to another, and then we've got fucking Taiwan, boom, whatever. The world is getting fucking a little bit more flamey than I'd like it. And I mean that in the literal sense, not in the flamey sense. So, not flamey.
Listen a little bit more Taylor Swift. It'll get flamey.
Look, if everyone could just listen to Taylor and be happy, it'd be fucking great. And I love the fact that I basically said that you would become a Swiftie a few weeks ago, and you're kind of heading that direction. And by the way, I told Bobby about it, and I hope he fucking brings it up next time you go to Nerd Rage. He just laughed. Hey. So I was like, yeah. And then I told him, it's like, we talked about you need to do a fucking Bobby Boogie Bob on it. I was like, I don't know if he will, but I hope he will.
I need video. I need to see
you can just watch it in person one day if you want to go over there for 5 hours while you fucking go through it. No, you guys need to do the Bobby Boogie Bop on Taylor Swift. Not him and Laura, just both of you, and that will be the best. No joke. Fuck it. Talk to him if you end up going to Nerd Rage this Wednesday or whenever. Fucking talk to him. And be like, look, We need to do it.
Hey,
And
I'm
I
down.
will personally fund it. I will fucking personally fund this Bobby Boogie Bob. I will provide fucking alcohol for it to happen if I have to. But it just be like that will be the best podcast of my life is to hear you two going through Taylor Swift's catalog.
Yeah, I'm down.
I want this. I want this more than Rubber 2 retreaded. Actually, I want it more than Rubber 3 retired. I really that I actually want more than 2. But speaking of crappy sequels, I did watch one this past week, and I forgot to mention it. I watched The Meg 2, The Trench.
Oh.
God damn, that movie was dumb.
I wasn't for it.
No, I was down because I actually enjoy the first one. It's campy enough, but actually captures enough of like a modern Jaws stupidity.
It works.
It worked. But number 2, oh, good God. They just said, hey, let's King of the Monsters this. And unfortunately, I love King of the Monsters. I thought that was a fucking fantastic movie. I cry every time Mothra's on screen. That's a real admission. I'm not making that up. Mothra fucking makes me cry. I don't know why. Don't know fucking why. Now Kong,
I have therapy next Wednesday. You can join us.
I mean, like, I think it's just that, like, she's just about peace and protection. She's not about killing and destruction. And she sounds so sweet. And Mothra's music is fucking awesome.
We need more of that in this world.
Yes, we do. Hey, we are getting more Godzilla in the future, so it is what it is. We get more Universal Godzilla. I'm on board. And Toho Godzilla. I'm also on board. Although that one is a fucked up looking Godzilla. But not as bad as Shin. But different platform for a different day. Big Sharks. Fuck me, this movie was stupid. Like, every single thing that happened in this movie just happened because a movie had to happen. There was no logic to anything other than we have to get to the final point of this movie. How do we get there? And it just felt like they let a 10-year-old maybe write this. Because
what was the final point of the movie, though? Because even
there
after
wasn't one.
watching it
There literally
twice.
fucking wasn't one. There was no point to the fucking movie. At the end, it's just, okay, all that happened. Lots of pointless destruction. Nobody's getting rich. In fact, we've lost billions of dollars worth of shit. And there's one Meg that may or may not be pregnant now swimming amongst the ocean.
Lost a potentially pregnant Meg out there in the ocean somewhere.
But it's okay because she won't necessarily attack that one guy.
And she responds to clicks.
Or beeps or whatever the fuck. Yeah, that was stupid. Like, it was stupid from the get-go. But, like, the idea that she so easily escaped and went to the trench for no reason. That was the part that made no sense. It's like, as soon as they left, she followed them to the trench? ? And then the fucking mercenaries and then everything, and they're like, we're digging up all this good shit at the bottom of the ocean. We're going to be fucking trillionaires. We don't need your shit. And then not only did this person betray you, this person betrayed you. And then every single person in this movie was about as stupid as you could possibly get. Like, this big CEO bitch who fucking set all this up to be as rich as possible and take advantage of the situation goes to where everything is going wrong. It's like, no, bitch, you stay in your office and fucking get fucked over the desk all night long until the situation is over. You don't go with your mercenary crazy fucks to the scene of the violence. Because you know what happens there? Movies happen there where you fucking die. Because that's what happens in these movies. You die because we need a helicopter. Because there's no other things happening on Fun Island. Because Jesus fucking Christ, they called it Fun Island. But also, after they escaped the trench, the good guys escaped the trench because movie. After being trapped in the trench because movie. Actually, that made sense. How they got trapped in the trench totally fucking made sense. How they got out, fucking stupid. It was like total, like the bad guys were just all hubris machines. That's all they were. Why did the Megs follow them? They've literally got the entire fucking ocean.
Part of the plot.
The entire fucking ocean. But no, these Megs decide to follow our heroes. for no fucking reason other than there's an island of people to eat 70 miles away. And they made a point that it's 70 miles away or 50 miles away. Either way, it's more miles than the sharks needed to swim at to find anything to eat. Because I guarantee you, there's pods of whales somewhere out there, and they could eat like kings. Instead, they decide to eat boats, people, docks, whatever fucking thing that is inedible or is nothing more than a fucking snack, and they'll probably be hungry later, not pointing out the fact this is nothing but Asians on this island.
I thought that while I was watching it too, but I didn't,
Didn't say it out loud. That's what this podcast is for, saying it out loud. So yeah, it's just fucking dumb. And then Jason Statham killing them in the most ridiculous fucking ways. I mean, this movie, the first movie was absurd, but they still made it work. This one, they went full fucking like Fast 7. Like they jumped straight. They God damn it. They literally jumped the sharks.
I think the third Meg goes to space.
No, please.
Yeah.
No. They try to send the Meg to space to get rid of it, and it just has shark babies in space.
And they just start raining shark babies.
No. And then it's in a hurricane.
And then that's how we get.
Please tell
Sharknado.
me. No, you didn't have to say it. You didn't have to. No, what happened? So,
6 of those and a video game.
Dude, I had an idea when watching this movie. We watched it here at home. Because it's finally free on whichever fucking service I'm paying for. It's all of them, let's be honest. And I wanted a scene that I think has happened before in a different show or movie where, okay, so they definitely allude to sharks mating. 2 big old boys, and the little girl comes in there, and she's like, yeah, Meg me harder, daddy. Now, what I want is they need a shut up Meg in there somewhere. I need that meme. I need Jason Statham with the fucking thing as it's coming to bite him, and he stabs it, and then just add shut up Meg. Somebody make that. If you're listening to this on Friday morning, somebody make that if I haven't done it already, or I'll forget. But, yeah, just fucking balls to the wall is fucking stupid. Every decision in this movie is fucking stupid. The fucking billionaire playboy philanthropist decides that he needs to go swim with the shark that he's been raising in captivity for reasons that our heroes from the previous movie know about, and they're, like, perfectly okay with. Hey, remember that other Meg we found in the first movie? Wait, which one? So, hold on. We're starting at 3. So, we've already got one that was already raised and found somewhere after the first movie. And then we go and we get 2 more from the bottom of the fucking nowhere ocean, along with things that have no fucking business being exactly the same after millions of fucking years of evolution, which is the other thing that made no goddamn sense. The fucking little aquatic lizards from the beginning of the movie are now in the trench and apparently completely fucking amphibious. It's where they can just live underwater, not to mention at the bottom of the ocean where I don't know if you know this, there's a lot of fucking water down there that makes very heaviness. And the idea that Jason Statham could swim at below 25,000 feet without a pressurized suit. And they're like, fish don't need a pressurized suit. I was like, the fish exist in the water only. You bring anything from way up there to down here, it'll probably get crushed. But something that lives here won't, because it's had millions of years of evolution for not being crushed by things. And they're also not full of air. Jason, as long as he fills his sinuses with water, he'll be fine. Except for all those lungs he has. Jesus H fucking Christ.
That was the moment where I nearly,
I needed a shot at that moment in that movie.
I had to watch this at work. And when I saw that, I woke up for that part, actually. When I saw that part, I was like,
of all things.
The dude that, that I take out for the day, he's enjoying this shit. And I just look over and I was like, you know what?
Good for him.
Yeah. I'm glad you're enjoying
So
this.
wait, what is
going back to sleep.
Because you saw it with Sophie as well, yeah?
No. So she watched the first one with me.
Okay, I thought y'all went and saw the second one. Okay.
No, I for work, the guy that I take out into the community and let him be a terror.
Okay.
He decided he wanted to see Meg 2. And
Okay.
I was like, and I told him, I was like, I don't want to go see that. was like, "Oh, please come on, please." I was like, "All right, fine."
Yeah.
And then I immediately like went for the nap. Woke up, caught some nonsense, took another nap, and woke up as Jason Statham is getting ready to swim.
Yeah.
I was like, "Nope, I'm going back to sleep."
I couldn't turn my brain off for how stupid this got. That it's like they went like all this science, and then of course they made the same mistake they made in the first movie by declaring something as Meg proof. It's like you already made it not Meg proof by talking about it. If you had never said this window's Meg proof and then stood in front of it like a fucking retard, it would have been fine. Also, after everything that happened in the first movie, why does anyone build any underwater bases when we know there are Megs? It's like, this is stupid. Why do you keep doing it? Even the good guys did it over and over. It's like, why? Why are you doing this? Why do you have glass at all underwater with giant shark?
Yeah.
It can see you, and it wants to eat you. And it can get to you. Don't worry about that. And clearly can go through a fucking fence that it's never been able to go through in its entire existence, down a tunnel that is specifically made for it to fit. Because that's what you do. You make the tunnels and the escape route very easy for the giant shark. You fucking morons. I was like, I don't know. Maybe a fucking 10-foot thick door might have been a good idea. It's like, no. Dumbness. All the dumbness. It's so dumb. It is so dumb. That's what I said. It's like, now he's not actually whatever his name is in those movies. He's actually just from the Fast series. So we went from
Everywhere he goes becomes a Fast and Furious movie.
I mean, how did we get from the Transporter to this? Because Transporter, the first couple were fucking fantastic. And that was absurd, but with cars. And I'm on board. There was no shark moments there. There was just jumping a BMW, or was it an Audi at that point? And jumping an Audi through the air to snatch a bomb off the bottom of it with a fucking crane. That was my actual level of disbelief. It's like, I know this isn't possible, but it's cool. When it comes to things of hard science being said, nope, that's not going to happen. And then it's stupid. Like from there, then I'm lost. I'm sorry. Now I want to go watch Transporter 1 because that movie is fucking awesome. Is that the one where he gets oiled up in the bus depot and fights those dudes shirtless? That was in 1, right? I know I
feel like that.
I don't think that was in 2.
That.
Yeah, because I've
only seen the first one.
Yeah, okay. So the second one is still fun, but I like his Audi in the second one better than his BMW in the first one. Both are really nice cars, but like the first one, the stakes seemed more real. Second one was kind of dumb. It was fun. The car stunts are ridiculous, but the Transporter 3 just started going in a weird direction. So I feel like he started in a Transporter, just found his way into the Fast franchise, same character. And then when he's busy not fighting The Rock about something, he fights fucking sharks. Same fucking dude.
Seems fair.
Jonas, that was his name in the thing. I'm sorry, I remember that. Either way, so moving on from that to an actual decent movie that you and I talked about over on your podcast that will be dropping on the 20th. If you go watch that in the
That's this week. Oh shit, that's this week.
That is this week. Fuck. Okay.
I got to start prepping.
So wait, okay. So this episode and that episode are dropping the same day. So if you're listening, if you're listening to this, amazing. We timed that without meaning to. If you're listening to this podcast, you need to go over and listen to the So You Like Horror podcast, where we talk about The Exorcist Believer. And I'll leave it at that because I don't want to talk any more about it other than that because there's no reason to watch it if we review it here. But that was a good old time. I actually went to a theater for the first time in a little bit. And the only thing I'll say is for some reason they cropped the movie wrong. Somebody zoomed. Like, I think they forgot those little black bars are supposed to actually be up on top and bottom of the fucking thing. So I actually missed some context at the beginning of the movie that we discovered later while we were talking about it. I was like, oh, that makes it make a lot more sense if I actually knew that information I couldn't see.
It had some purpose, that information that they cropped out for you.
Yeah, thanks, Star Cinema. All I got was a drink and some M&Ms, and I had a good old time. Me and the one other person who was in there that I didn't know was there until later. So I thought I was in this movie theater alone, and then I find out there's someone else in there. I was like, oh, that's kind of creepy. It's like a whole lot of people, fine. You by yourself, fine. One other person, that's a little creepy.
Yeah, that's fucked. I mean, at least in my theater, there's one, two, there's at least 6 of us.
Yeah.
Supremely spread out, but 6 of us all the same.
Yeah, room for activities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cartwheels in our lane. Like I'm pretty sure there was a person in every aisle.
Yeah. I miss the good old days when the armrest would go up and you could just stretch the fuck out between a few seats, if you had the room.
So
Just lay
that's
the fuck
how
down.
the seating is at our theater across the street.
No shit.
They just updated all the seats.
Yeah.
So and I like them. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Oh,
Like,
we've got the recliners.
Yeah, they're recliners too, but they're weird. So yeah, it's just better to lift the arm and just go ahead and stretch out.
See, these are all
no one ever goes to that theater.
Yeah, because these are all fixed now because they've got the drink holders in them, and then every other one is a table. So, you gotta keep that shit in place. Though, of course, sometimes those tables make it hard for slightly larger people to get in and out. Even though they swivel, you're like, hey, sometimes we're too fat for this. You could probably do with the old way where the table was separate.
I don't know. Yeah, our swivel for sure. I'm just trying to think that. Did I have any trouble? I think these swivel all the way around. I think there's the other theater where it doesn't. They just swivel a little bit.
Yeah.
So you're still kind of.
Yeah, you got to squeeze past it a little bit because they went from the table every 2 chairs, so they were paired up. So they got rid of all those, and now they took away a cup holder and put the swivel table. I was like, I could have just used the fucking cup holder, but thanks. It was like, and also it's inconveniently far away when you're trying to eat off of it. Like if it was like in your at chest, like here,
True.
you can eat off of it, but it's like over here. Like it's like if you're trying to eat something like a burger or something, but it might be a little messy. It gets pretty bad. I don't tend to eat big food there. I usually get like some fucking Domino's. Fucking that's what I get for just reading literally. There's a Domino's ad right there. That's why I said that. Eating some pizza or like pretzels or something like that. Some finger foods that I don't make a big mess with. Is there anything else? I had something. No, the Meg was the thing I remembered. Okay. Gen V. Newest episode. Last 2 episodes technically, so I didn't talk about it. Show is still fucking great. I'm loving it. If you haven't started it yet, by all means do. I'm loving these characters. More like a slight mystery from last week was unraveled this week, which was great. And like people are exploring I like the interplay of the relationships. Like, because like you think it's all kind of surface level stuff, and then you start finding out that things are more complicated than you think they are. And then also, the idea that these kids are trying to figure out who the fuck they are because they were lied to their whole fucking existence, and now they have this whole superhero ego problem. And all this kind of stuff. And then everything that Vought is doing in the background, because, of course, Vought is fucking up everything in the background somehow, because this is the world of the boys. That's what happens.
Of course.
And I'm so excited for the teaser for next week. Our boy is coming back. Our soldier boy is fucking coming back next episode.
Yeah, I heard that, like, I don't know where I saw. I might have saw it just somewhere online. They're like, yeah, there's images of him. So they're like,
that was me. I
could
told
this
you
be
that.
something for? It was you. Okay.
Yeah, I told you that last time we were here.
I was like, okay, well, like,
yeah, Jensen showed it. Yeah,
Ball.
Jensen showed it off. He's like, I suited up again, and he's like, yep, I'm back in the season of Gen V. Now we don't know what role he might have. It might be something minor, but we know that he's kind of on the run. He's not on Vaught's good side, so he's not going to be doing like promo videos for shit. So somehow he's going to get involved in this. But last week's episode with Tech Knight coming in, that was fucking fantastic. Like, he's different from the character in the comics. I've watched all the This Person Explained videos, that kind of shit. Yeah. And so he comes in and he's clearly massively intimidating. Like, everyone's fucking scared of this guy because he's like highly intelligent, like super notices details and shit, can like zoom in on the smallest details about people, can tell when you're lying. He's collecting evidence in his brain. He's all Sherlock about this shit. And he literally sits there and breaks the main character. Like, she thinks she's got her shit together, and within fucking 2 minutes he has her like fucking quivering. like, and not in the fun way, in the scared for her life way kind of shit, in the way he breaks her down just by having knowledge and being able to see her responses to certain stimuli, and then just fucking breaks it down. It's like, oh yeah, this is why everyone is fucking terrified of this guy. Because not only is he like that, he can fucking tear people apart. Like, he is super strong to begin with. But we don't get to see that aspect in a way. But like, and then the truth about Tech Knight comes out at the end of the episode, and I will leave it at that. And they're very the boys about it. So, you know. Oh, and I forget if it was that episode. Yeah, it was that episode. I don't know what it is with these guys and doing terrible things to penises. But they do something terrible to a penis right at the beginning of the episode, and you full on see it. So, ouch, is all I got to say, for lack of a better term. You'll see it. It's at the beginning of the fucking episode, so there's no avoiding it. But other than that, yeah, we're good. So I know I've taken up a lot of time here, and that's what happens. So we missed a week. We got a lot of catching up to do. Other than that, I guess I got some shit, but nobody cares about that right now. So, is what it is. Just sign up for the Patreon if you want to see all the shit I get.
I got.
Ooh, what do you got? What do you got?
Avengers, Marvel Legends. Looks like a cereal box.
It does. Looks like a big ass cereal box. Who's in that?
Iron Man, Mockingbird, Tigra, Spider-Woman, and Hank Pym.
Dude. What was that, a Pulse thing, or did you actually catch that in a store somehow?
It was on Amazon for their little
PulseCon
sell thing. So it was. I'm pretty sure it's not selling well, so it's probably gonna go discount anyway. But you know, they had it down to like 80 something. So I was like, Sarah was like, "Go ahead and get it." And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it twice. Like, you tell me to go get it. All right. So it's weird because when it comes to Legends, the ideal is really I collect X-Men.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, really for me, it's like 90s stuff. I see something for like the late 80s into the 90s. It's like, you know what? I'll jump on board for it. Why not?
Yeah.
Now I got to figure out where to put it.
Yeah, because I've never seen what you have for like a display. Is everything just sitting on shelves? Or are you doing on card nonsense? What do you got going on about there?
A couple DTOFs. I had pictures.
Yeah, so it should be some pictures. I want to see the Dante cave as it goes.
Because I got a couple shelves, just old shelves, like old bookshelf.
Yeah,
I have like some stray X-Men figures on, and MCU characters. Because Sarah's grandmother, I guess after she passed away, there's this big ass cabinet. So like Sarah's like, yeah, you can have it and put your figures in it. I was like, all right, word. And then when I get it down in the basement, start putting my figures in, she was like, I want to put some of my Disney stuff on the bottom 3 shelves. I was like, bitch,
you said I could put my figures in this woman.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, all her, all like, I mean, the Disney figures are really nice.
Yeah,
I mean, and then she has this Dark Crystal set that, you know, we went hunting for
figures or statues.
Figures.
Oh, wow.
Figures.
Is that NECA? Is that NECA or is it somebody else?
No, I can't remember who it is. It's like on the tip of my tongue right now.
I will do it. I will Google.
But I can't even remember how it even started, because I think we were in Toys R Us and then saw 1 or 2 of them. I was like, let's get them. And then she was like, let's just, you know, she found out, oh, there's more. Let's just get the full set. So then we kind of went on this hunt and ended up getting all of them. But yeah, I have a Black Panther display over here.
Of course.
I have a Wolverine floating shelf somewhere. Spider-Man shelf. So I'll get some pictures and send them over. I just got to figure out. I think the Star Wars spot is about to get sacrificed, though.
That's what I did. I got rid of Star Wars and Marvel because I needed.
Yeah, because I don't like my Star Wars setup isn't really anything particular. You know, it's just a hodgepodge of characters.
Gotcha.
So I will probably end up doing that as kind of an somewhat Avengers type table, I guess, because right now there are no more figures that I I want to get, other than like a couple 90s mutants, like, Pharaoh, Wolfsbane, Phoenix are the big ones I think everyone's wanting.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's rumored that Wolfsbane or Pharaoh, one of the two, if not both, are coming next year.
Because Farrell's the only one Bobby's like really holding out for, isn't it? Because he's always talking
Yeah,
about it.
Pharaoh's the one. Like there's a Wolfsbane figure from like one set that you can kind of finagle in there, but Pharaoh, that's just not something that's been put out there. And even the
So
Wolfsbane from X
weird.
Factor is built a little different than the Wolfsbane that we got.
Yeah.
So because once I get Pharaoh and Phoenix, like Rachel Summers Phoenix,
Yeah.
I don't have any interest in another figure, to be quite honest. I know people are like, well, that's what they always say. It's like, no, really, I don't
Kind of
have
done at that
like
point, right?
and not only I don't have room. Like
Yeah.
Sarah will send me pictures when she's at the store. Hey, do you have this? Do you want
Yep.
this? And it's like this past year, there's been so many no's. Like when she texts me, and even she's surprised. I'm like, I have all the Spider-Man figures I kind of want.
Yeah.
I have all the MCU figures from basically the Infinity Saga, except for a Drax. That's the only one that I don't have, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't care.
Yeah.
It would be nice to have them with the Guardians, but look, I'm not paying the prices that people want for Drax. I have X-Men Gold and Blue, X Factor, X Force for the most part, missing Pharaoh, both Age of Apocalypse waves, Excalibur minus Phoenix. I have the blue and yellow suit X-Men set that just came out. All the villains that are available so far. And just a bunch of every Wolverine that's been put out except for like the movie versions. So it is getting crowded down here. Like, and you factor in all that shit around here, plus a treadmill, elliptical, recording area, and fucking movie area. And this isn't a big basement; it's tiny as fuck. So
Yeah.
it's time to clean up.
Yeah, because I have a similar problem here with space because I have a lot of wasted space over here with my Detolfs because I've not done anything with them. They're just fucking here and full of my Gundam boxes. And like my Transformer shells probably need to be redone a little bit to make it flow better. I think I'm gonna nix the mixed displays. Like I've got it's hard to see, but I've got my Legends mixed with my big ass combiners and city bots. What you got there?
There's just a table of like stray Legends.
They're just there.
I think the New Warriors might be the only thing that's somewhat cohesive. So yeah, actually, the New Warriors, I will end up completing that because I think Marvel Boy or Justice, whichever name they want to go by,
Marvel Boy.
That's in a set coming up.
Yeah.
And then Namorita, whatever her name is. There's a different version of her coming out, but I want the classic version of her.
Yeah.
So
my problem is so I've got basically what has become nothing but NECA over here. Like all my Ninja Turtles and the Universal Monsters. So the Universal Monsters are one shelf and they're barely fitting up there. But I also have my Ronin Warriors crammed up there just because it's the only spot I had.
Oh, yeah.
But now I've got spoilers. I have the full set of Ronin Warriors now from Sentinel. So now I actually have to work on that display somehow. But I've got I've got at least 2 gaps worth of empty space below that I've not done anything with. There's just junk sitting there. And I think I'm going to get rid of all my Dragon Ball figures because they're just sitting there in the box. I'm probably going to get rid of those. But I have to figure out my Power Rangers display because I've got at least 1 full shelf that I have to figure out how to fill up and reorganize. And like you were talking about being done with only 1 or 2 figures, I'm only 1 team away from completing my Power Ranger shelves. And it's the one team they start right as they say they're taking a hiatus on making fucking Lightning Collection figures. So it's fucking stupid. They give me Turbo Red, and it's TJ Turbo Red, not Tommy Turbo Red. So can't even have a complete Tommy collection there if I don't have one. But the idea that they're giving you a single figure out of that wave, and then they're going, we're going to stop for a while. They're like, oh, the fuck you is? No. You fucking get this set done, assholes. It's like, if you can take the time to put together an obscure sort of set from the comic books, you can give me my fucking Turbo Rangers and I can be out of this goddamn hobby. Like, and so I was so pissed. I'm like, to have literally, how many Rangers are on that fucking team? I think technically 4, but they've got the extra robot guy, so that's 6. He already came out. So they started it with fucking the Blue Sentinel, but he goes between 2 different series, so you could use him one way or the other. Oh, sorry, Blue Centurion. I got his name wrong. And then they said, okay, here's TJ. Great. Where's the fucking rest of them? If you're going to take the time to design a fucking Omega Ranger set and release it as a box set, you could have just knocked out all of Turbo, slapped that bitch on Amazon, and called it a day, and I could get out of here. But no.
Yeah.
But
of course, they got to drag it out.
Yeah, but I got to. The only thing that sucks is I think I'm going to sell my bigger figures or Megazords so that I can have more space. Because they take up so much space on the shelf, I basically have to do a double gap, to fill those things in there. But I'm getting the Super 7 version of the Megazord, the original Megazord, and that obviously, the size is sort of limited there. So I can actually have that in one display with the rest of the figures, and it'll look fine. But, then I've got these huge motherfuckers that are like 13, 14 inches tall that are just taking up too much space. And I'm like, I'll just fucking can this shit. Sell it, make a fucking car payment, I guess, is what's going to happen. But then that'll allow me to build out the comic shelf because now the Omega Rangers are here. They've already done a buttload of comic characters. So I might as well just go ahead and make a full-on Power Rangers comics area and, like, separate my shelves out a little bit better. And the monsters have kept coming, so that shelf has gotten so crowded. I had it kind of dual purpose. Now it's going to have to be its own fucking shelf. Just for monsters.
I had to make a decision there on the monsters. I was like, either you go in or you don't go at all.
I've got all of them so far,
and it was a hard because when they did the slashers, Jason, Freddy, Michael.
Oh, you mean those monsters? I'm talking about Power Rangers, but yes.
Oh no. Yeah, I'm thinking about the Universal joint.
I'm only going classic Universal on those.
And that was the thing that was like. If I do that, it's like you're all in for it, or you just go one other direction.
But then you also have the hard part of black or white or not. Which
I would go black or white, black and white.
Yeah. But the color, the ones in full color are so fucking gorgeous. The black and white, the black and white feels like you're getting gypped.
It does. But I don't know. There's just something about the black and white. Just seeing it that way too. So it's like I would feel that's the direction I would go. But I've already decided I'm not going to go near it because if I do, it's just a whole nother problem that I have in this basement.
Yep. Of
no space. Because right now I have Freddy, Jason, and Michael.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put up another poll.
So do you not have a Sam? I think you need a Sam.
So I've thought about it.
That is a nice figure from NECA, if you can get it.
I've thought about it, and I actually I saw it today.
Yeah, I think they did a re-release or something because he's back out.
Out at what was that, Spencer's? And I was like, I could get this now, but my whole thing is, it's like, with the 3 that I have, it's like, who do I want for my 4th?
Your Mount Rushmore.
It's just, my Mount Rushmore, and it's like. I know that they're releasing a new Ghostface, and it looks pretty cool. But it's like, I like Scream.
It's still just Ghostface, though.
Yeah, and that's the thing though too. It's like Ghostface. The thing with Ghostface has been so many different folks, so it's like, it's like it doesn't feel right to me. So it's like Ghostface. The problem with getting Chucky is like the price for what you're getting. It's like.
Yeah, unless you get the 1-to-1 that they're coming out with, which is stupid expensive, but also you wouldn't want it just sitting there in your room because it'd scare the fuck out of you.
No, not at all. That's not ever happening. And then Sam.
What if they do a Tiffany?
So I thought that there was a Chucky, like a 2-pack. I thought, but
there was. I think there was a. I think Funko did something, but not NECA.
Okay,
but imagine like, a 1-1 Tiffany with a 1-1 Chucky.
Not in this house. Not in this house. Like Sophie's already got enough dolls that freak me out when I walk down the stairs and I just see something staring at me.
Dude,
So I have to
they
go over
could
and
just go
turn
in the
it.
basement bathroom. They could just go in there.
Oh
Just
no,
be
that's what
standing there.
my Justice League is in it's
They're
in
in
the
the
bathroom.
toilet. Just like in real
Yeah.
life. That's where they're at.
I'm at a point now where I'm like, I should just get rid of these. Why did I even
So
fucking
wait,
get
do you
these?
call the bathroom the Hall of Justice? Please tell me you got a sign on the door, because you fucking should.
I will now.
You need it.
Uh,
You need to have it there. Like, have the image of the classic Hall of Justice on the fucking door, and then when you walk in, you're like, "Wait, what? Oh, now I get it."
Well, the great
These
thing about
hallowed
Sarah
halls.
with all of this is Sarah is on board with any silly ideas I have for the basement.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to have this sign or that sign, because I'm the one in this basement, no one else.
Yeah.
So
Well, like,
it's like,
so I've got a. I didn't realize this. Both things that are on the doors here, both for the Shoky cave and the bathroom associated, are Star Wars related. I didn't even realize that until just now. So the one of the only nerdy things Jessica ever bought me, it was from Michael's or one of these fucking places. And it's one of the old school comic covers and a C-3PO carrying an unconscious Luke. So that and it's wood, not just a print. And so that's on the Shoky cave door. And then the bathroom door, which is, inside the bathrooms where all the rest of my artwork is in there. I've got a print from Brent Woodside that's the end of Clone Wars, where Ahsoka has buried all the what is it, 332nd or whatever they renamed them from the 501st. Her specific division, whatever it was called, I forget what it was. So it's that image with so that's on the bathroom door, which is pretty cool. So that's fun, but yeah, I think I will fucking get you a Hall of Justice sign to fucking put on your bathroom door. That will be your fucking Christmas present.
actually what's going up once I get it. So there's a friend that runs a jiu-jitsu promotion out in California, and like from the beginning, I've always supported his shows, promoted the shows. He's been on a podcast a few times. So there is a championship belt with the BJJ Wiki logo on
Nope, not
it.
that. Yeah.
So one of the guys who won the belt actually messaged me and was like, "Hey man, I got your belt," and he was a guest on the show and everything. So I talked to the owner of the promotion. He's going to be sending me a BJJ Wiki championship belt. So Sarah's like, "We got to get a shadow box for that son of a bitch and put it up on the wall in the basement right behind you where you record." I was like, "Yeah."
Don't they?
But
They should
I
have
gotta
some
figure out
type
what
of
to do.
holding thingies for those belts. I'm sure that not just a shadow box, because you can see that.
Whatever. I just call it a shadow box. But yeah, there is like an actual case.
Yeah.
For the titles. So once we get the belt, we're gonna find that and then put it up over here behind me. Then I got to figure out where to put this.
On the
Wakanda
door.
Forever jump off.
Put it on the door.
Somewhere else. It'll probably
Door
go on the
decoration.
door, like
Because it would
you're
be really
walking-
cool. Yeah.
As you come right down the basement stairs, there's the door to the fridge and the washer and dryer.
Nice.
So I'll just put it right there.
So I just got a notification from the Amazon. Speaking of comic books, my hardcover version of The Watchmen is fucking coming tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Because I never owned that, but I've got what is it called? The Doomsday Clock hardcover. So might as well fucking have them together. It's like oh no, I'll have that fucking story together. Because I got all that shit together, all the post Rebirth stuff for DC. I got all those fucking hardcovers together, leading into Dark Knight's Metal. So I mean, if you've got the button. And then fucking Doomsday Clock, all that shit runs together with Dark Knight's Metal. So, and then fucking Dr. Manhattan versus Superman being the ultimate fucking showdown. Just kind of fucking cool. Like, it's like basically two gods fighting it out for the future of the world. In the Watchmen style, not the DC style.
I was just thinking about that last week, oddly enough. I don't know why I was thinking about that, but it came to mind. I was probably in the comic shop and something just fucking rekindled that thought. I started it like when the story came out, I started buying the Lucy's and I was like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not trying to keep up with this shit. I'm just going to trade weight it all. And then read 7 pages and say, yeah, I read it. Because that's what I do with every fucking comic book I own. I read the first 7 pages and I'm like, That's good enough. I think we get the
Read the
idea of
first
story.
7 and the last 7, and then you're good, right?
Yeah, that seems fair. I
Tear
don't
out
even
the
do
final
last
page.
7.
Tear the final page
Right.
so you don't know how it ends.
I'll just go to the fucking wiki and read. Like, oh, that's what happened.
Just watch Comic Story and on YouTube. You'll be good.
Yeah, true.
They'll tell you everything. Comics Explained.
But,
Oh, yeah, that is a channel, too. I was joking. I just realized that is a channel. Never mind.
yeah, hey, that's about all I got over here.
You been watching anything else other than what we've talked about? Or what we've already literally talked about?
I mean, I'm doing the 31 nights of
yeah.
horror. So like tonight is new. So there is a theme to all the movies for each night. Tonight is something new. Basically, is the thing for tonight. So I'm going to watch Nefarious.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, nice.
And because one of my friends, she's been suggesting that movie to me for.
I've heard good things about that movie. Yeah.
So I'm gonna rent it tonight
New
when
franchise.
Sarah leaves and watch that, and then basically kind of continue the themes as we go. Tomorrow's going to be In the Graveyard. Then I think Toni Collette is the 18th.
Ooh.
The 19th, I'm looking forward to Killer Machines because I want to watch Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just excited about that again.
So you got to
Friday.
You got Rubber in there again in the rotation.
Rubber is
that
not
was a
in the
good
rotation
pun.
right
I didn't
now.
even realize it. That's a good pun. Damn it. Damn, that was a good one. I didn't even mean to.
Freddy is Friday. This coming Friday, the 20th, is Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
I am not the biggest Guillermo del Toro fan, but I'll figure it out.
Which one are you gonna go for there?
I don't know.
Is it really so much horror with him? I mean, I'm sure there is.
Well, he did Mama. That one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, well, that one is.
That might be it because I did enjoy that a
Yeah.
little bit. The
What-
22nd will be Creepy Crawly, so I don't know. Maybe Arachnophobia.
Ooh.
23 from the 70s.
Where's that remake, by the way?
So it was in the works.
I know. What happened to it? I mean, was it just a strike or just nobody gave a shit?
I don't know.
Because
I haven't heard
that
anything.
feels like that was easy. But I mean, how do you make spiders scary in nowadays? You know, set it in COVID times.
How you make anything scary because people are so desensitized.
We've seen everything.
Yeah, I mean I think that's part of the issue with the critics talking about The Exorcist Believer. They're like, it's not scary. Well, what's scary to you, bitch?
I mean, the original Exorcist wasn't scary either, but it fucked with your head a lot. It was gruesome and fucked with your brain. That was the point.
Well, and I think that's what they're trying to get is like, there's nothing. And I'm going to be honest, like I think I mentioned when we were talking about it, there was a point where I felt like I might have to leave. I felt uncomfortable.
Yeah, the new one definitely makes you uncomfortable. Now, the hard part is I think eight-legged freaks kind of fucked up any fears of spiders. Honestly, I don't know where you go from there. But I mean, you said creepy crawlies. There's only a few places you can go realistically. Unless you want to go really far back and go with it's them. Wrong movie.
Yeah,
I know I did that on purpose. That's like a different. That's actually the modern scare is they.
So there is a movie called They.
I know. Yeah, I know there is. I've heard you guys talk about it. Yeah.
It seemed like a good idea.
It's not about giant ants, but it would be interesting if it was.
I wish it were.
Yeah. Also, that's a classic ass movie. The original of them. Good God.
Well, when we were doing our decades,
going through the decades, yeah.
Who watched? I can't remember who I had
Did
on.
you make Ricky do that one?
No, what did Ricky do? I think he did the 50s with me.
He did
he did the 40s with me.
Okay.
He did the 40s because he was pissed about having to watch Face with I can't remember, but it was subtitled. It was a French movie.
Oh, that's right. He did talk about
now.
that. That's why he was bitchy about fucking pretentious ass movies from then.
Yeah, he was pissed.
That's
and
right.
The thing is, it's like it's not that bad of a movie. Relax.
Yeah.
But I get what he's saying though.
Yeah.
It's like
he has a point, but this is for fun. Okay, so what else after that? Yeah.
Well, we got from the 70s. 23 is something from the 70s, so that could be any. I'm probably gonna do The Omen.
Nice.
Because I love that set. Vincent Price.
Ooh.
So I'm probably gonna do House of Wax, the original.
Yep.
Haunted Hotel. I'll probably go with Um, I mean, The Shining is kind of the obvious one,
Which
so I
one?
might just um the 1980.
Okay, because
They,
I'm actually partial to the fucking TV miniseries from the 90s or however late that was. Like, it had its moments.
was it?
I know it wasn't great. It was either late 90s or very
I
early
think it was late
2000.
90s.
Yeah,
Late 90s.
because I know I
Because
watched it because I'd never seen the original, but I'd only seen the Simpsons references to it. Wait, does that
I
count? Can you do Tree Houses of Horror at some point?
let's see here. Let me look through here. Family Fright. So Treehouse of Horror.
Hell
That
yeah,
might.
do like the first five. That might be a fucking good night.
Weirdly enough, the 27th is Michael Myers. Um, so
I'm sorry, hold
and
on.
then
Whoa, hold on. Hold on.
it's like you wouldn't let me just have that for the 31st.
I mean,
I don't know.
who made the
It's
schedule?
Halloween. I don't know. Some fucking numbskull. What is this from?
That's a word for it.
Just Nightmare on Film Street. So it's a podcast.
I got you.
Um, the 28th is classics. So
That could be fucking
I'm not sure what I'll
anything.
go with that. Folk horror, which is probably going to be The Witch.
The Vivitch. Vivitch?
Yeah, the Witch.
Which I've watched reviews of that movie. That is a pretty fucked up movie. Like the actual
It is.
thoughts behind that. I see why it was such a big deal when it came out and why some people were actually pretty fucked up by the end. And also, isn't that is that Anya Taylor-Joy's first movie?
I
Or is it
think
the
it's
first
one of her first
starring movies?
big, like
Yeah,
like the first time we see her as. Because it was that, and then she did Split after that. I think.
Oh no, she would have done Split before that.
Okay,
But this
I
is
know
her,
those two are like.
they're close.
But
But that one was the first one where her name was big enough, I think.
yeah.
And Split, it wasn't big enough for by any means. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about Split, but that's not really a horror movie. I mean, it's a
The funny thing is,
thriller.
when I saw her in Split, I was like, I recognized her from something. I was like, okay, I know that chick.
I'm a Google. I'm gonna see which one came out first.
Then the 30th Family Fright Night, and Halloween Night is something set on Halloween night. So,
You're right. The Witch was first, 2015. Split was 2016.
okay, I was gonna say
So
it's got.
They were so close. You're right. But you had a good point because I saw Split on Redbox. So that was one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I never watched Witch. But them coming out so close together, and I assume like probably time wise, there was probably only a few months. But she's been in a fuckload of movies and stuff since then. So.
Oh yeah, she's been on a tear, and it's like, you know what?
And still on a tear. Like she's like getting her fucking cash.
Yeah,
While people could still stand to look at her.
Yeah, she's cutie pie.
Dude, her fucking eyes are on the side of her fucking head like a pigeon. she's pretty, but fucking weird. We had a whole ass episode about this when we talked about Halle Bailey and the new Little Mermaid. And if you start looking,
oh my God,
dude, no, hold on. It started there. I Googled like odd looking modern stars. They are legitimately hiring more and more young ladies whose eyes are really fucking far apart, like abnormally far apart. They had the golden ratio and they said, let's throw that off by 38%, and that's all the fucking middle gap. And
let's get someone that looks like they're
dude,
not fully Down syndrome, but they could be close enough.
You said it, not me. You said it, not me. But I didn't even realize this until I saw her at the right angle. Fuck me, I've been drinking. The chick who's playing Snow White, or probably if Disney lets it come out, her eyes are fucking far apart too, and like she's still fairly new. I'm like, they're legitimately doing it. Like they are just flat out hiring, and like there's no way you get this big of a ratio of fucking women with their eyes really far apart. There's no way you do it on accident. There's no fucking way, especially when they're in all of these movies. Like if you're a great actress, even better. Not that they're just hiring because you look funny, And I said that weird. But I saw an interview with Anya Taylor-Joy this past week, and I forgot what she was talking about. One, she had an accent, and I'm like, wait, what?
Really?
Yeah, I think it was a British accent. Because she was talking about the menu whenever which is a fucking fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, love that fucking movie. And she's talking about Ray Fiennes, but the problem was like for the scenes, like she had to be turned around and looking at him without turning her chair to face him. And so she had to do a whole bunch of takes, basically twisted like this, like the whole fucking time. She basically had to go to a chiropractor afterwards because she's like, no, it makes, and she made that decision. She said, it makes more sense for me to have my back to him for disrespectful reasons and then only be bothered to turn around when something gets important. So she made that decision, which was fucking crazy. But yeah, she had an accent and everything. I was like, I'm so confused by what's happening here.
Yeah, now I'm curious. I'm gonna have to go look that up.
If I can find that interview, I'll link you because that was interesting to hear her talk. Because she's done so many other roles. It's like, okay, so hold on, what's your actual accent? You know?
Yeah, I'm always fascinated by accents. I think because I try to get a bunch of people on off the mats from like other countries just because of accents.
Yeah, you definitely
But,
did
like,
do that.
It's like I'm collecting them.
Another
My boss
Infinity
is from
Gauntlet.
Sweden.
Oh, nice. That's a
The
good
guy,
accent.
and the funny thing is, I never noticed accent until the other day. We're in a meeting room just talking, like just kind of shooting the shit, and I'm like, listen, I was like, oh, there's the accent. Okay, I got you, you fucking Swede. But nah, he's
that
really
sounds
cool,
that
but-
sounds so much worse than I think you meant it to. Yeah,
Oh, no, it was
I'll find that clip and send it to you because I know it was on YouTube, so I'll probably scroll back and find it. But also seeing her with so many different hair colors is weird. When you're used to somebody who kind of has a hair color for a while, it's almost like Emma Stone. Oh my god, I finally fucking remembered her name. I can never remember Emma Stone's name. I love Emma Stone. Also, her eyes are a little fun, but she's also not mega hot. She's just like girl next door hot.
Yeah, she's got kind of a touch of Downs there too. Look,
Yeah, and she's very manly, but in a good way. Like she's like one of the guys, and then she dresses up one day, and you're like, I've never been so
you got
confused by
boobs.
a boner. It's like you were just one of the dudes, and now you're hot as fuck. What the hell happened? And like literally, I put on makeup. It's like that's all it takes. And for your 15-year-old dick to suddenly, just she's a tomboy, but she's a good-looking tomboy in my opinion.
yeah, it works.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think that's definitely a big part of charm though
Yeah.
too, is being the tomboy that just kind of can kick it.
Dude, tomboys can be hot. Let's be honest here. It's like
yeah.
a girl who can just fucking kick it most days, and then she can crank it up to the hotness level while still somehow being a tomboy. She'll walk in, chug a beer, fucking burp in your face, and then walk away shaking that ass in her tight jeans, and you're just so goddamn confused. But then again, this is Texas. That's fucking normal. Women don't know how to wear jeans that fit.
Like been in that position before. It's like I'm not sure what's going on here, but
I think on Columpton, if you were going to do any kind of objectification, is you need to rank Dallas Cowboy cheerleader years.
ooh.
So you got to go back to like the 80s through the 90s and like try to rank the teams on the hotness level, because like there's some fucking years in there that it's just unfucking believable.
I like it. I like the ideal.
I'll talk to Steve.
I have to run that by him.
Yeah.
Got to get.
He's like, Shoky said we should rank cheerleaders, and he's like, excuse me, and he just jumps on it. If he pulls that list out from his fucking pocket, like he's got that shit ready to go, and he's just been waiting.
I thought you'd never ask.
He's like pulls out the fucking. He's got the calendar. He's like, let's go.
I don't know. Yeah, that'd be the most confusing thing I'd ever have seen. Like, I didn't know you were that passionate, Steve. Relax.
Everyone should be passionate about Dallas Cowboy cheerleader teams from the 90s.
So I treat the cheerleaders kind of how I treat the Ravens.
No,
I don't hate the Ravens. I just hate their fans.
No. That's not fair. Because their fans are like every person on the fucking planet.
They're cunts.
Why? Because they appreciate fine-looking ladies.
No. It's just to do with the team. No, the ladies are great. Like I appreciate everybody who loves the ladies.
I hate everybody who hates the Cowboys, however.
But as soon as they start talking about,
you don't have to
Super
love
Bowls
the
in
Cowboys
90s.
to love their cheerleaders by any stretch of the imagination. Because you like even fans of other teams are like, have you seen the Cowboys cheerleaders?
This is true.
It was literally was the national pastime. It's like the only
Uh-oh.
reason they went to the Super Bowl was so that you could get more of them. Yeah, two very quick sad stories that got news today. First and foremost, the Thigh Master legend herself, Suzanne Summers, passed away today or last night due to, apparently, I didn't even know, she had incredibly aggressive breast cancer.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, she passed away. Serious legend in the ridiculous, dumb home fitness idea. But she definitely made people's thighs stronger. And she definitely had her hotness for quite some time, if we're going to be honest here. We go all the way back to the fucking Three's Company days.
Yeah, she what was that, late 70s to the 80s, and then came back with Step by Step, like late 80s into the early 90s.
Dude, yeah, fucking mom mode and fucking Step by Step. Hell yeah. And then apparently Michael Caine has retired from acting. He said, fuck it, I'm 90. I'm not going to be a leading man. You shouldn't be a fucking leading man at fucking 90. Leave it to the younger generations of men and women to come up and do their thing. So, salute to the fucking legend, fucking Michael Caine. Thank you for your fucking God knows how many years of fucking service. I think he started at least in the 60s. At very least started in the 60s in acting. From what I saw. Probably longer than that, but holy fuck, dude. I mean, I don't know what he hasn't played, to be totally honest, because he's been in so many things. But of course, he'll always be probably my second favorite Alfred of all time. Animated Alfred, and then fucking original Alfred from '89 Batman. Definitely all on tops there. But just any fucking role he's in is just fantastic. Whether he's just in there with Morgan Freeman, fucking being old cranky guys together, or whatever. But when I saw the head, because I don't know about you, but every time I see a picture of a fucking prominent actor posted on something, I assume they died.
Yeah.
Right?
When I saw the picture, I was like, oh, no, not Michael Caine, too.
But, I mean,
not two in one day.
I mean, he's at least 90, it's like, cool. He's 90. If he dies, he dies, right?
So whenever Phil does the Nerd Rage notes on Facebook, I guess I should maybe put some notes in there. I'm a part of it, but
yeah,
I
you should
don't.
probably do that. Yeah.
I handle the Facebook every 3 weeks.
I don't know why they don't give you the IG. It seems like you would be great at the IG section.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with it right now.
It's in flux, from what I know. But
because when they initially asked about it, I had already signed on for the Facebook.
Yeah.
And I didn't quite have my footing with Instagram at that point.
Yeah.
Like at this point, it's like I'd feel weird because Raul had a way with it that was just kind of like, I can't touch that. Like, because he had a system, whereas my system is a little bit more like kind of go.
Yeah.
And like bombard you with content.
Yeah, you carpet bomb. You definitely carpet bomb IG constantly. I don't even know how the fuck you do it. Like, to be totally honest, I literally have no idea how you do it. I can't even remotely spend enough time I don't even get the shit I need to do done. I don't even know how the fuck you manage to do I don't even know how many IGs you technically manage. At least 3.
I have all the folders. I have 14 IG accounts. 4 of which are
no.
Like,
hold on, we're not gonna walk over that. Holy fuck! It's like, so what you don't know is half the shit he's reposting is actually reposting from himself on other accounts, and he's got 7 sock puppets.
So the thing is, I have Wiki,
Sure,
Off the Mats, Colompton, So You Like Horror. Those are the main 4.
Yeah.
I just stepped away from Why So Nerdy because
I didn't know about that.
I'm not bothering with them. It's another podcast that I was kind of working with.
Yeah,
and they've been on Off the Mats here and there. I just did.
Okay. That's why it sounded familiar. Okay, that's right.
But I was running their Instagram for a moment, and it was kind of off the kind of piggybacking off of Nerd Rage.
Sure.
So whatever I would post, I would just take like maybe every other post and drop it over there. But I was like, okay, this is becoming too much of a hassle because they weren't really doing anything with it. I was like, all right, well, because they also weren't putting out content. So I'm promoting a podcast that doesn't exist. So I was like, I'm out.
True that.
And then
True
they
that.
just came back and they wanted me to come back on. It's like, well, by this point now, I've got 3 of my own podcasts, plus I'm running 4 Instagram accounts, like full time. I have BJJ Diet or BJJ Eats, where I was doing basically kind of healthy meal posts.
Oh.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner type deals every single day. I stepped back from that because I got into it with one lady. I reposted something, and I always give everybody full credit. I don't ever take someone's post and not give them credit.
Yeah.
And this lady sent me a message, and I saved it. And I was like, "Ooh, I might respond to it." Every so often, I go back and look, and I'm like, and she's still fully active. Like every so often, I want to respond back, like, "Go fuck yourself." But I left that alone. But I have that account. Then I have what used to be called BJJ Move of the Day. That got hacked, so I had to reset it and start over, which became Cage Wrestling, which was something that, I'm sorry, not Cage, Castle Wrestling that I was working on with Pinkerton for a moment. So that's still out there. I just don't touch it as much. BJJ Nerd is a backup to Wiki,
Sure.
just in case. What else do I have? Awkward BJJ.
That sounds like it should be our show.
So I'm looking to do something with that.
Yeah.
I just have to figure out what I'm going to do. I think what I'm going to do is do moves like BJJ moves wrong, and have my coach come in and say, "This is what's wrong with this move, and this is how you fix it."
It should be. It feels like it should be comedy almost.
Yeah, well, yeah,
It should be the funny aspect of what are you doing, and then he make it hilarious how wrong you got it, and then show the really technical way to do something.
The initial ideal from Awkward BJJ came from one of my other coaches. She and I were talking, and she had mentioned like awkward stories on the mats, and I was like, she goes, "We should do an IG account." I was like, "Do it. I'll help run it." And what she was doing was getting people to basically tell awkward stories about being on the mats, and then she would kind of draft up a graphic and do the story for it. I was like, "That's cool."
That actually sounds cool too. Yeah, for sure.
I kind of want to stick with that, but the thing is,
because that could be a lot of just short form content. Like that could just be 2-minute stories, just in and out almost.
I might take what's already there, move it to TikTok, and do like kind of the voice, like let Sarah read it out,
and
like drop it on TikTok, and then take it back to IG. But the problem is getting crowd participation.
Yeah,
like trying to get people to actually, like whenever I post like questions, it's tough to get people to actually participate in questions. So you like horror, I can get traction. Like I put up the one, would you rather have cockroaches or ghosts? And people were interacting there, and
I participated.
Dude, and thank you. You've been actually kind of like hit all the posts. Like this is good because like you answered something. It might have been on color. You answered something on one of the posts, and people started rolling with it. I was like, okay, that helped to get visibility.
Yeah.
So.
No, I'm down. I'm down for interaction, especially if I get to give Phil a hard time about dinosaurs.
Well,
just because that's just fun.
Fucking Phil.
Phil doesn't know me well enough to know when I'm fucking with him, so that's why it's even better. He's like, "Are you serious?" I can see Phil going, "Is this guy serious?"
Well, Phil knows me well enough to know when I am, and he's still kind of like, "Wait, are you serious?"
Yeah.
It's like, Phil, no, I'm not.
But in text, to be fair. That could be a thing. So not to cut you off, but we do need to wrap it up for your sake.
Yes.
And I will say that I will be disappointed if you don't go see the Taylor Swift The Eras Tour movie.
It crossed my mind. It legit did.
I mean, but it is 3 fucking hours, so that might be difficult.
That's why it left my mind.
Yeah, so I was just thinking, though, because I was looking for tickets for Five Nights at Freddy's and wanted to see how far out it was. I think it's the 27th. Because... Oh, by the way, I did finish the books, the first 3 books. Fuck me, that story is so fucked, dude. Like, the animation on the graphic novels is pretty decent. I like the artists themselves, but I did see something that is interesting to me. Back to the Future Fathom event, where you can actually go watch the original Back to the Future in theater. So part of me is like, that might be worth an experience. Like, just
Nice.
So I might check that out. I did. There was another story I had in mind, and one last little tidbit that I found out on Twitter before we went live, and I want to mention it because it's interesting, and we're gonna dive into it deeper on another week as more of it comes out. So the Daily Wire, for anybody who's familiar, Ben Shapiro and all those people over there, they've been wanting to increase their content that they make to battle big, well, Hollywood and all that stuff. So they've been making smaller movies that aren't for big release and stuff like that. Pretty good movies that I've seen, at least the ones I've seen. Documentaries that are actually pretty good. Some are a bit wonky, but most of the time good. They decided to give a big middle finger to fucking Disney, and they dropped a teaser for a actual accurate Grimm's fairy tale version of Snow White, starring one of their own in-house actresses that already has a show for them. Like a big fuck off middle finger to Disney because of what they decided to do with things. And for me, I'm like, oh, this will be a fun fight. It's like, I don't know if the movie's actually going to be any good, but at least it'll be something different to what Disney is throwing out there with their quote-unquote version, modern take on Snow White. So, it's like, I don't always agree with everything they do over there. They do have some crazy reviews in my mind, but I do tend to find some of the Daily Wire people entertaining. If for no other reason, watching people's reaction to the stuff they say is generally entertaining because I like to watch a shit show sometimes. But for that to happen, I just went, oh. I was like, okay. And as far as I can tell, they're actually going to do it as a wide release, not a behind the paywall on their website thing. They're going to go full length, fucking full production movie of their own Snow White, like the good days, like the good old days, apparently. So let's see what happens there. But I saw that and I was like, that's actually some pretty potent news, given what's going on with Disney.
I would actually be very interested in, just because I feel like so many people are so far removed from the ideal of those fairy tales being what they were, but everybody knows that the cute Disney-fied versions of it. I was like, yeah, that's cool and all, but if you're 5,
yeah,
I'm 45.
And there is some really like the actual Grimm's fairy tales. That's an apt title. I know it's a name, but it's still an apt title. If you ever really want to see how Sleeping Beauty actually went, go check out the Grimm's fairy tale version. Holy shit. I don't know if they'll do that, but that's a different movie entirely. But I like the idea that they decided to just go with a direct competitor to Disney. Now, if they could manage to get it out the same weekend that the Disney Snow White could do, I don't think they could slap that together fast enough. But that would be fun. Daily Wire versus Disney straight up.
Is there like an announced release date for that Snow White?
No.
Or is it just...
No, they haven't even done a fucking trailer. They've only done teaser shots behind the scenes shit, and then all the horrendous interviews she did by chance. And apparently they just picked the worst possible person to go out there and talk about this shit. Like, I'm sure Rachel might be good, but goddamn, she said all the worst possible things to be out there and do press for this movie prior to.
They tend to have a habit of doing that. I don't even know if it's so much a Disney thing, let's send this person out there, but it's like you'll get somebody that's like super duper on this weird high horse of with Brie Larson going out and making whatever
she said a lot of dumb shit, let's be honest. But,
and it's like, and the funny thing is with Brie Larson, before any of that, I was like, oh, I know her from, a couple different things. She's cool.
Yeah.
And I hear it, and I honestly still don't even know what she said, but I know, and I'm not outraged at her by any means, but it's like, honestly, her Captain Marvel, not any connection to the ideal, what's been said in outrage to that, just is kind of forgettable to me. And it's not so much maybe her as much as it's how they handle the character.
Yeah.
Which leaves a bad taste in my mouth. So it's like, boo.
Yeah. Everybody gave her shit about that, and it wasn't her. It's just how the character was written. It's not bad. But it's bad character.
Ultimately though, it's like they seem to have this thing with people that just want to go out there and use this platform to say silly things. And I know the idea is well, you're a celebrity, use your platforms. Sometimes we don't need to hear,
it's like what we talked about earlier.
Yeah, it's like, look, just you're an actor, go out there and act.
Yeah, shut your face otherwise. And And to be fair, everybody deserves their opinion on things. Now, what happened with Brie Larson was actually detached from the movie. That was something she said otherwise, and then a movie
Yeah.
happened. What Rachel did was
Oh,
in
I thought it was
promotion
during
of the
the.
movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I thought Bree said it in promotion of the movie as
I think
well.
that was just, I don't remember if it was, but I thought it was like some sort of like, it seemed like it was an award show that was unrelated. But like the shit that Bree said came out before the Captain Marvel movie even did a thing, so people went into
Okay.
that movie hating her. Now I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure, like, because I thought she was either, it wasn't like an interview as far as I saw. I thought it was literally like almost like a TED Talk situation because she was on a stage when she said this shit. Now I don't know. I think it was actually like at a women's rights thing. With okay, not gonna argue with women's rights. You know, there's some dumb people at the top of that
So then
sometimes.
what she said probably makes sense given the audience.
Yeah,
for
given the
sure.
audience made fucking sense because it was a lot of that boo men, yay women situation, which
Yeah.
of all places to say it, you know, and maybe I might be misremembering or it might be 100% accurate. I'm not sure. All I know is that the backlash from that seemed to be way more because it was, if it was in promotion of the fucking Captain Marvel movie and she said that dumb shit, 100% give her shit for it. Totally
But I
makes
thought
sense.
she had said
But
something about more diversity like Disney needs more diversity.
that might have
Like
been,
there's some
that
bullshit.
might be a whole separate situation too, because like that argument was already being made. Some of that is
So
company line.
yeah.
It's so weird because sometimes they'll push a controversy to actually just have what they want in the first place. Like they're ahead of the controversy, start the controversy, and then fill in for and make up for the controversy that nobody knows they're the ones who originated it. Like they're like, hey, we need more DIE situation here. How do we get there? Let's make a complaint about it and then have all our actors talk about how it needs to change. It's like, notice how it was across the fucking board. It's like, of course, there's a corporate message being spread amongst the people who work for them. Duh. Let's be honest here. It's like, yes, there is obviously some fairness in that situation. Can't complain, but they kind of overdid it, if we're honest. They overdid everything in the last few years, which is how you get to the new stupidity of Disney's really dumbass fucking remakes of things and the messaging they decide to throw in it. When she said Snow White don't need no prince, she's a proud independent woman who's going to learn how to run her kingdom on her own. Like, you know, this is a love story, right? It's like this is supposed to be a love story between them and the fucking evil crazy bitch lady who fucking doesn't want the young hot chick to have her power. It's like, no, this is a power struggle between women and a dude is in there and you've decided we don't need no dude. It's like, what the fuck? I mean, like Maleficent handled it better than that.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that's a goofy take on it. But I think again, a lot of these
Wait,
younger folks,
yeah.
in Hollywood specifically, no substance, but all like the glitz and glow. And it's like,
Glitz
oh,
and
look at them,
glow.
they're so pretty. And then as soon as they talk, it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
I mean, like,
that was a mistake.
so when she said that, yeah, the dude was great playing the prince, but we could probably cut his scenes entirely. Fuck, he might not even be the final movie. I don't know. But like, you just said that you don't give a shit if the guy who is literally acting across from you as your love interest is completely cut from the fucking movie. It's like, that means like you lose half the context of the fucking movie.
Yeah.
And you're
It's like,
okay
then
with
how
that
do
as
you
long
have a
as you're the
movie?
star? Because clearly they said it's like she's going to sit there and learn how to fucking live in a man's world and be the. It's like, Jesus Christ! I was like, either you're selling this movie incredibly badly, or you're just a moron who's saying the shit you shouldn't say out loud. Like, you weren't supposed to say that, Rachel. Good job.
So that actually, I did watch another horror movie I just remembered, and
Oh,
that kind of touches here a little bit more so today's generation versus the past. So I watched the movie Totally Killer.
oh, okay. I
Um,
remember you posting about it.
it's fun.
Okay.
It's basically Back to the Future meets a whodunit murder mystery slasher
Yeah.
type deal. Back to the Future meets Scream, basically.
Oh, fun.
And young lady.
Wait, that sounds like Happy Death Day,
um
which actually is more Groundhog Day meets.
yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
yeah, like no, she keeps
Which
dying on the same
also,
day.
I enjoy that movie. The first one, at least. I haven't seen the second one. I actually
I was gonna say
like
the
Happy
first
Death
one.
Day. That's a fun movie.
That's one I think people like for some reason people don't want to admit they like.
Yeah.
It's like, why? It's all
Why?
right.
It's a fucking
Like,
good movie. Like it's
it's
compelling. Like and
it's
she's
fine to,
and it's got butterfly effect aspects almost, and then the second movie tells you what the fuck's going on, but then adds to it.
people are weird about that. It's
They
like,
are.
I can't say that I like this. It's like what you like.
Look, just because it has
Live-
a cute blonde star. Oh no,
like,
I don't
live
even know
your
who
truth.
that is.
No, I don't know.
I forget what her
but
name is, and I feel bad now. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
basically, this young lady. So there's uh some killings that took place 35 years ago or
Mm.
so. And what were they called? I can't remember. Like, my brain is frazzled right now. But basically, there are 4 girls, 3 of them were killed, and the last one, she's still
Just
alive.
rough.
2023, she has a kid.
Yeah.
The killers come back
Mm.
and they get mom.
It's like Halloween
And
Returns.
there's actually kind of a loose end. I just realized that they never
Josie's
cleared up.
back.
But now the killer goes after the daughter later on. And the daughter's friend was making a time machine, and as she runs, she ends up in the time. She was a photo booth at a carnival. She was using that,
Huh.
and the killer goes the stab. He misses, stabs the machine, like the screen,
Yeah.
and it activates and sends her back to the past. So,
Okay.
basically, as she's back in 1987,
What was it called again?
Totally Killer.
Gotcha. Okay.
As she's back in 1987, which they messed up some of the numbering because they make it very clear that it's 87, and I'm pretty sure they mentioned that it was 2023. So it wasn't 35 years ago, it was 36 years ago, but whatever. I don't know math. I might be wrong.
It's in car year models. That's what it is. It's not really
But
the year.
like
Making a
basically, as like she's running around in 1987, she continues to point out how certain things are problematic. Like, a guy had on a shirt that said FBI female body investigator. It's like, oh my God, your shirt's problematic. And his girlfriend's like, I love your shirts. There's just all these, all the things that took place back in the day. Like, I think they're at a party and the guy like pushes her and she's like, oh, unwanted touch, stuff like that. But like, basically, I watched that, but why it even triggered the thought is like, you talk about the Disney remakes and just how goofy they are. And one of the conversations we had was like, oh, they're just trying to cash in on a nostalgia effect.
Yeah.
And then trying to, get the new generation too. But then I started thinking, it's like, yeah, with the new generation, but what they're also running into is this whole thing of like, well, some of the stories back then were problematic, like Snow White, and Sleeping Beauty, and the prince kissing without consent. And it's like, well, because they were unconscious, and the kiss saved them.
They were literally told the true love's kiss would break the curse. It's like,
Yeah.
unfortunately, that's what it comes down to. How you find true love with somebody who's unconscious. I mean,
Yeah.
This ain't Kill Bill.
This whole idea, like, oh well, because like, who was it? Maybe Kristen Bell. Maybe she had brought up something about, she was like, I don't read those stories to my daughters because this reason, that reason. So you're getting a whole lot of that now with a lot of that pushback, and it's like, okay,
Kristen Bell said that.
Yeah.
She met her husband. I love them, but that seems like a really silly take.
My friend I just went out to brunch with yesterday. I guess whatever company she and Dax run, she works for that company. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Fuck yeah, dude, they've got some fucking power in Hollywood. Like, nobody talks about it. And he's got his podcast is pretty fucking big and has been for a while. Like, that boy doesn't need to act anymore if he doesn't want to. Well, I guess neither does she. She got that Disney money from Frozen.
Yeah, true. Oh yeah, good call.
And those Veronica Mars paychecks that are rolling in every month, I'm sure.
Man, don't forget Sarah Marshall. Don't forget her. We can't forget.
Oh, I totally. Never mind.
But yeah, basically, they're kind of playing off the whole, like, all that stuff, and it's like, look, I get it, and even in conversation, I was like, look, if you don't like, what was done before, make your own shit then. And it's like, well, they're doing it, but the thing is, it's like, well, no, they're just taking the old shit and making it new for today's like standards. And it's like, my argument is always, you can't hold yesterday's things to today's standards.
Yeah, you can't look at the past through today's lenses. It doesn't work that way. The past was the past. It's like the things that you were having problems with were just the norm back then. There's a reason why we changed it. You can't look back on it and go, this was horrible. You can't ever do. It existed, and
not.
you leave it to. It's like, yeah, we learned from that. That's why we don't do that anymore. But we can't destroy that, or else you don't know where you came from, dummies.
Well, exactly. It's like when you talk about like a movie like Ace Ventura or American Pie. It's like, oh, you shouldn't allow those movies to be clean. It's like, well, no, you got to keep those things around because you got to see where we came from. You got.
This is our history.
Like, yeah,
and nobody will fuck pies as good as Jim ever.
I mean, I tried, but let me tell you. It didn't go the way I thought it would go.
No, you shouldn't have microwaved it first.
Yeah, it was hot.
Yeah. Well, the outside was hot and it was frozen in the middle, right? That's just how this shit works.
Like Kristen Bell.
But
but like it's like layers. Like I always say that, you know, again, it's like those things that we've done or watched or, you know, anything in the past. It's like, all right, it's in the past.
Yeah.
Like OJ is in the past.
Yeah.
Yes, he did it. But, you know, oh well. I mean, he wrote a book. That's it. If I did it.
I'm waiting for the movie. You know? I'm waiting for the OJ produced movie.
Oh, did I post a meme? I don't know. I think I posted on Colompton because with all the Will and Jay stuff going on.
You did. Yeah, you did. I saw it. Yeah. That was funny. That was fucking funny. OJ.
But yeah, I mean, ultimately, it's like, look, this chick and what she had to say, it's like someone had to pull that, reel her in. Like, hey, what are you doing?
Also,
like,
why did they let that out? Why did they let that shit out? It's like if you know you're gonna accidentally have your star say dumb shit, like don't let that out. Like you have the power. It's like if you know that it's gonna make. Well, then again, they have a totally different lens on their shit now, so they're like, no, it's fine that she said that. It's like, is it?
I wonder if they think though too. Oh, well, it's gonna get publicity.
It'll get publicity, and that's 100% what fucking happened, of course.
Like we will talk about, but the problem is now people aren't going to see your movie.
Yeah, you literally made sure nobody would want to go see this movie. Like you didn't sell this movie on it. You didn't sell it on any positive benefits at all. Like from at least on the Snow White thing, getting rid of the 7 dwarfs. We talked about that weeks ago. You know, it's like, okay, that seems like the dumbest possible beginning to start. Oh, and then she's talking about, oh, we don't need the prince. We don't need the love story. We don't need any of that. It's like, okay. And she's going to be a strong, independent woman who needs to rely on these 7 magical people to help her.
Dude, I can't wait to see it then because I hope that the Wicked Witch like demolishes her.
And here's the other stupidity. Who's playing the fucking Wicked Witch in that movie? One of the hottest fucking women on the planet.
Yeah.
Gal Gadot is like, are you kidding me? Like, you guys literally got this shit backwards. It's like, oh, come on. It's like, if you can need somebody, and I get that, like, she had the sexy persona, like, and then, you know, the witch was the internal persona, but, like, come on. Like, come the fuck on. It's just like, nobody's gonna buy this. It's like, but also, just in the story, she's the fairest in the land. All this kind of stuff. Not only that, she's literally pure as the driven snow, including her fucking skin and all that nonsense. Whether you want to get into the actual dumbness of that, it doesn't matter. But the point is, you fucked up the concept. Snow White and the 7 dwarves. Okay, well, we're cutting the 7 dwarves. And then Snow White. Well, you missed that. So now she's like snow-ish. Yeah, right. Anyways, but... either way, the Daily Wire at least got an incredibly pale girl to play her, so that's fine. Somebody who's already on the payroll, who's already an actress, so at least that's fun. Okay, so I will say this: I have zero interest ever of watching the new Little Mermaid. Jessica wants to watch it. I said I won't watch it, but that's why I go in the other room and do a podcast. You can watch it. When it comes to the Snow White, I kind of want to see the train wreck. But I don't want to pay money for the train wreck. I want Disney Plus train wreck. I want this to be shut down so fucking hard. It's a Disney Plus non-paid fucking release. And I would watch that train wreck for no extra money.
See, and that's the thing is like, I don't even know if I would like, I'm curious to see the train wreck, but at the same time, it's like,
if the Daily Wires comes out round about the same, oh God, if the Daily Wires version comes out first, oh, that would be even better. Like, beat them to the punch and make the better movie. I'm just saying, possibility of making it a better movie. More accurate to at least the books. Let's say that. It's not going to be even accurate to if they out Disney, that would be funnier. If they remade their own live action movie better than they did, that would be funnier than going back and doing the Grimm's Tales, in my opinion.
I think also too, when it comes to, even the ideal of, these remakes,
Yeah.
Going to live action routes, it's like, sure, there is the thought of, you want to have, because as Brie Larson and Falcon, Anthony Mack,
Yeah, Anthony Mackie. Yeah.
maybe that seems like the right name.
It is the right name. It is the correct name.
They've both, kind of called out Disney for not having diversity and da da da. I think he was more so saying behind the camera.
On the production
still,
side for sure. Yeah. No, he's not right about or not wrong about that. I think directing wise too.
The thing is, it's like, okay, so you're saying like, okay, more inclusive, let's get more people, but it's like you gotta also look at what you're doing as far as the characters. So instead of saying let's remake things and then change the races of characters, just make new stuff.
No, you can't do that, Dante. Look at comic books. New stuff doesn't work, and we know. We want 1 in 20 fucking new characters stick around.
Oh, who just fell over?
Oh, you got that problem too?
I just heard a thung.
Thung. I will say before, because we need to wrap this up though, because for your sake we need to wrap this up 20 minutes ago. Damn it, I lost my train of thought there for a second. What you just said into
new content.
What Anthony Mackie said about diversity behind the camera, he clearly isn't paying attention to Star Wars, because all the Star Wars shown are like, there's like 2 white dudes and then everyone else is women and men of color and of other descents and everything else like that. And like some of the like Rick, I'm not gonna get his last name right, like Imawewa or something like that, like. That dude, I know I'm getting it wrong, but he's one of the better Star Wars TV directors. Like, he's done a good fucking job on Mandalorian and stuff like that. He's one of the better ones there. And then some of the other people, like I agree that maybe Disney's other departments, maybe it's Marvel specifically, is really the issue, not necessarily Disney. But because clearly if Star Wars is doing it, Disney's not the fault. Give her to Kathleen Kennedy. Anyway, I just had to throw it out there for Mike's sake.
I think the comment also came before the show, so
perhaps
it could be like, okay, we hear you.
I mean, if it's 2010, I believe you.
Yeah, like
2020.
When did he make? No, he made the comment. It was definitely before 2020.
Yeah.
But the thing is, too, it's like, maybe that is kind of the trick. Was like, okay, we got these guys here, and what they're doing over at Marvel already is like, well, we already have stuff kind of here set.
I mean, blame Marvel, not Disney in that case, because that's Marvel making that decision, as far as I could tell.
So I'm just using those 2. I don't know.
No, but I'm saying if that's the case, he's like, if he blanketly says Disney, and then you just literally go, it's like you literally point at the exact thing he wants. It's like, we're literally doing that right there, buddy. Did you not? He's like, I was only thinking. Like, I was thinking,
nah, we good over here.
Yeah, he's like, no, we're good here. We should do that. Y'all are good, and they're just looking at him like, this motherfucker. Like, and I get it. Like, there are definitely some points that need to be made here and there. And I agree with that. Like, there is some like, but best person for the job. That's always going to be my argument. I don't give a fuck. Well, best person for the job and story over everything. Those are my arguments. Doesn't fucking matter. It's like, push your agendas elsewhere. Do the right thing for the fucking job that needs to be done. And if that happens to fit your agenda, cool. It's like, if it works out that way, there's not really a way to complain. But if it's forced, it's almost never going to be good. No matter what you do, if you have to force something, it's probably not going to be good for somebody.
Also, if you force it, it becomes this thing like, that it was done because of this.
Yeah. And that's where we're at now. It's all because they make it all fucking public now. They're all out front. Like, hey, we're getting rid of all the men in this. Why? Because men suck. I was like, oh, you said it out loud. I didn't expect that.
What was the one chick's
Twitter
name? I cannot remember her name. Oh, Elizabeth Banks.
Oh yeah,
she tried to call out Steven Spielberg, and that blew up right in her face.
Disney, wrangle your people so they stop saying stupid shit before the movies come out. If they want to say it after the fact, who cares? You've already made your money. Like, make a Twitter post after the movie's out. Quit killing your projects when they're in the fucking infancy. You know, I know. Nope, not finishing that statement. Never mind. It was in my mind. I'm not going to say it out loud. Yes, I am. Yeah, I know you're pro-abortion, but stop doing it to your movies. There we go. Fuck, I had to say it. All right, either way. Oh, speaking of which, I still hate New Amsterdam more than anything. That show is god-awful. It's gotten so much fucking worse. It has... Dante, look at me. Look right here. Eyes. Eye contact. It literally went full fucking Grey's Anatomy. It went full fucking Grey's. You never go full Grey's. They fucking did it. And I fucking bitched at Jessica the whole time. I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. I hate that you're fucking watching this. I'm like, literally, like, I'm trying to read my book and this nonsense is on my fucking TV. It's like, I'm trying to read a book about murdering fucking animatronics built by a madman who's infusing children's souls into metal to fucking make himself immortal. Turn this goddamn shit off. Like, these people they're the second worst people on TV ever because Grey's Anatomy exists. If Grey's Anatomy didn't exist, this would be the worst
still
show.
A thing?
Yes, it is still a fucking thing. It is still going. Speaking of things that need to be canceled other than Rachel Ziegler, we're going to fucking cancel Palestine and Israel and fucking Grey's Anatomy at the same time. You know what? If that ends, nobody's checked to see if that would end it. Maybe it's all that Grey's Anatomy should be canceled. Cancel that and literally solve the world's problems. They will get along.
I feel like if Grey's Anatomy ends, we go back to like 1998.
I don't really want to go back to 1998. I wasn't having sex then.
Well, no, not like we go back, but you know, things just
actually. Can we do that? I was like 160 back then. Yeah, actually, maybe let's do that. Let's go back. I was half my weight then. Let's go back. So
we'll smooth out. All right,
I'll take that extra inch back. That's fucking right. Either way, guys, like and subscribe to all the thingies. Thanks for listening. I know it's a little off the wall, but I'm glad that we did it. And it's a long one tonight. That's what she said. It's been 3 fucking hours. I appreciate you hanging out with this long. Dante, it's always good talking to you, my friend. I'm so glad that you are my new backup and or my new partner entirely, because the rest of my cast seem to have quit. What the fuck? Yeah, so there we go. Steve, this is the announcement. Steve Columpton is yours. I'm stealing Dante. It's like, I will send a box of beer as collateral.
Seems like good beers aren't worth it.
Yeah, actually, I just thought about some of the context of what I just said. Maybe it was a little slightly insensitive, but either
you're in Texas, it's okay.
No, we ended that shit in June. Either way,
on the 19th,
16th. Oh wait, is it the 19th? And I'm an idiot. Hold on, wait. It is the 19th. God damn it. I don't even know my own fucking history here. Look, I was born after that, so I forgot that it happened. I'm just kidding. Fuck all everything. Good job, Galveston.
At least you knew it happened.
I know it happened. We're the ones should be celebrating it. Why is it a national thing? It's a Texas thing. It's like, and it wasn't, never mind. It's fucking deep context of history. It's like national holiday for something that happened in a single state that actually didn't end anything. It was just here that it finally got there. Somebody went, oh, we're not doing that anymore. Huh.
It was the last of the Mohicans.
It really even wasn't. There were still Mohicans at other states. Other states still had Mohicans. But no, so we'll celebrate when Texas did it. So it's fucking dumb. So fucking dumb.
Call them Mohicans.
That's what we're doing. We're calling it, that's what we're doing. We're calling it. We really got to get rid of some of this modern day Mohicanism.
We've been called worse things. All right.
That's not what I meant. We'll never work for Disney. It's okay. So, you know what? I'm just going to end this on a fuck Jeremy. That's just the end of this podcast. Yeah, fuck Jeremy.
Jeremy's trash.
Look, Jeremy should be canceled. Fuck this. Bye, guys. There's no way to end it. There's no way. Mohicanism.
Rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats.